Welcome to Pickleball enthusiasts under the canvas here at Total Athlete Indoor Training Center in Triadelphia, West Virginia. I'm JT Thomas, and tonight we're bringing you the semifinals of the Fall Brawl Pickleball League here at the Ohio Valley Pickleball Club.
All right, JT, let's talk a little bit about the format of play tonight. Can you not hear me?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here under the canvas at Total Athlete Indoor Training Center, just about to get ready for the semifinal match number one between Air Jordan and the Kitchen Crew. As we look down the line here, you'll see on court number 3, which is closest to you, we have line 1 matchup, and on court 2, furthest from you, we have the line 2 matchup. We're going to go ahead and switch to a down the line version of the line 1 matchup now. And with me, I have Jordan Laird. Welcome to the show, Jordan.
Thanks, JT. Great to be here. Looks like our first line got started here just now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here, and we are looking at the first serve from Rashad Davison. He was able to put it in a tough spot for Scott Hedrick. And it looks like the Kitchen Crew takes the early lead, 1-0-1.
Yeah, that was a great inside-out serve by Rashad.
Now, it looks like Davison and Lawson are stacking. Could you explain to our viewers what that means, Jordan?
Yeah, it's a nice thing to do when you've got a lefty. You got a lefty and you stack, keeps the forehands in the middle. It's probably the best choice to have with a.
So technically, right now, what you're saying is Rashad's going to play the left, and Lawson's going to play the right. But since Rashad is serving, he has to start over.
That's right.
And that's why you see the odd start position.
He's going to start from that square and then slide right over. That also enables them to both keep their square so that you don't have to focus on switching it up too much.
Great shot by Jordan Sorgi there. You'll see that quite a bit today. He loves that low drive down the middle, can put an incredible amount of top spin on it from his tennis background. That's a tough shot to handle for anybody down the middle.
That's right. We'll see that a lot tonight. Looks like a called out serve. But if you're going to miss the serve, that's the way to miss it deep.
And Air Jordan takes the early lead here, 2-1. Seems to be a little bit of confusion on where we're supposed to be at this point.
Nice put away.
Good pickup there by Jordan Sorgi, but Lawson was there for the finish. All right, now on to serve 2 here for Air Jordan. Hedrick will be coming over to Lawson. Whoop. Almost a fortunate bounce. It seemed like it ended up on the side out for the pair of Davison and Lawson.
Great drop.
Davison switched hands there, right?
Left-handed finish.
Very, very athletic young man. Played some college basketball, from what I understand.
That's right. He played college basketball and then picked up pickleball just under a year ago, and he's been going hard ever since.
Oh, was that the announcer jinx right there?
It could have been.
We're sitting at 2-2. And you'll see that again from Sorgi all night long. That cut return seems to be something that gives a lot of people trouble.
Yeah.
Well, I think that ball was in.
Nice finish.
Nope. Called it deep. Okay, so now we're side out to Air Jordan. Sorgi will be serving right to left. Oh, just misses. Just misses. Hedrick will take the second serve for Air Jordan. All right, there's something we might want to talk about. A ball come rolling across the court there, Jordan. What happens in that case?
Yeah, in that scenario, you just call dead ball. It's really on all four players' responsibility. Somebody's got to call it out, get the play to stop.
That's a player safety issue, right?
Exactly. The worst thing that can happen is you get somebody to step on the ball and then you got a twisted ankle. So we just called dead ball.
All right, we have side out here for Lawson and Davison. Lawson just misses the low drive. That'll bring up second serve to Davison. Firing one over to Hedrick here. Nicely done to the backhand. And a very good drop there by Davison. Wow.
Great drop.
Really put Hedrick in a pickle. Pardon the pun.
This is a good time, JT. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how this court plays for the viewers?
Well, I got to be honest with you. The court plays fairly well. It's a very quick surface, so it does favor a little bit of the power game. Every once in a while, you might catch a little bit of a slide because we're using an outdoor ball. But for the most part, it plays really, really well.
Yeah, do you expect to see a lot of dinking tonight, or do you think the game will stay relatively fast?
Well, you know, what we've seen so far throughout the league is a lot of very quick play. But a lot of guys are transitioning their game. They see where this sport is going, and you really need to develop a soft game if you want to level up. And that's where everybody's head is at right now. Everybody wants to level up. Again, that low drive by Sorgi can give you problems at the net.
Yeah, when you actually face it head on, you see that ball come with real low to the net and a lot of spin. And once you see it enough times, I think it's a little bit easier to pick up. But if you're not used to playing against him, you're going to struggle with it, until you get used to it.
100%, Jordan, I agree. It's one thing to sit here and watch it, to see it coming at you and have to react to it. It almost acts as a dink or a drop, but it's coming 3 to 4 times faster. Again, it's very difficult to handle. You're used to just blocking those balls back. If you're blocking his ball the way it dips, you're going to find the net more often than you want. And there's another let court, so that point will be started over.
I have to say, I'm surprised. It seems like Lawson and Davison are giving Sorgi a fair amount of forehand drive.
Well, yeah, he seems to be getting more balls than you would think, but it's easier said, Jordan, than done. You sometimes might want to keep the ball away from him, but these shots that these guys are hitting, the choice is get it back first and then place it.
Yeah, that's right. Especially true when you're playing a fast surface like we've got here.
Absolutely. Now, we have heard some rumblings about maybe changing the surface here. As always, the club is looking to improve any chance we get. And you could see some new surfaces out here in the not too distant future.
Well, I always love to hear that. I mean, any chance that we can get to improve sounds great to me. What's the rumblings about the surface that we might be looking towards next?
That's the return I was talking about right there with Sorgi. It's very, very difficult to handle. He almost puts you on defense when you should be on offense. That third shot is supposed to be either a nice hard drive or a drop, but when it comes with so much backspin, again, you're just looking to get it over the net. It takes a few to get used to.
That's right.
But I'm sure Davison will adjust.
He will. And seeing Jordan Sorgi's serves or his returns, come in the way that they do. You're right. You have to be able to understand that thing's coming in low, it's coming in with backspin, and it's going to slide a little bit. So it leaves the third shot with another forehand finish.
Yeah, another hanger for Jordan.
That's right. His second shot makes it hard for the third shot because drop or drive, when it's coming in with that much spin, you got to lift the thing up in the air.
100%. But it makes it very difficult to do what you're quote unquote supposed to do.
That's right.
And again, we sit here and wonder, why are they giving him so many easy balls? Trust me, they're not intending those balls to be in his wheelhouse. They just happen to end up, at this point, it's survival for them, but they will figure it out. Hopefully it's not too late. Lawson handled that one nicely, and now we're at it at the kitchen. Another point there for Lawson and Davison. And now you see the stack as they're on an odd. Anytime you see an odd number, you'll see them in the stack.
That's right.
They could use another point here to tighten it up.
That's right. And just find out.
Sorgi was staying alive, but Davison was able to find his toes there, and Sorgi hit one into the net. One of the very few mistakes you're going to see from Jordan. Hedrick with a cut return of his own.
Yeah, that was a pretty cut.
Nice shot by Scoots, setting up Jordan for the finish, and that's a side out for Air Jordan.
There's an example of one of the tough things with stacking with the lefty righty and giving both forehands into the middle. Sometimes you get a collision that you might not expect where both guys are going for the ball, like we just saw from Lawson Davis.
Hedrick unable to handle the return from Lawson there. Brings up second serve for Air Jordan. Oh my goodness. It just comes with too much velocity and too much dip. They'll adjust. They'll adjust. Just missed the left sideline there. It's another point for Air Jordan. 5 points away from securing this first match, or this first game. That looked to be wide. Yes, it's called out. Side out. Kitchen Crew.
That was a nice run by Hedrick. A lot of good serves. I was surprised to see him miss wide.
Kitchen Crew desperately need a point or two here on this side out. There's one. Again, another uncharacteristic mistake from Jordan Sorgi, but you know, even the best of us make the mistakes, and Davison and Lawson are putting a lot of pressure on as well. Another great shot by Davison.
Great shot.
Putting Sorgi on the defensive.
Now they're closing that gap a little bit.
That's two quick ones from Lawson and Davison, and they're still on first serve, so they have another up. Oh, did it get him? Did it catch him? All right.
Looks like it did.
Closing the gap here, 9-10. In what seemed to be early domination by Air Jordan, the Kitchen Crew have closed the gap. It's all square on first serve for the Kitchen Crew. Jordan to it.
Yeah, it sure is.
A score from court number 2, which is line 2 action between Will Vogelin and Lee Palicetti, and the pair from Air Jordan, which is Greg Bory and Carter Huffman. The score we're getting from that court is 7-11. 7-11. Favor of who? Seems to be favor of the Kitchen Crew here. So the Kitchen Crew now leads both of these first games. Oh, a nice return. Wow. Great serve by Davison. Put Sorgi in the corner, and Sorgi just hit a killer backspin return. Side out to the Kitchen Crew. Or side out to Air Jordan. Oh, there's another let court. We'll reserve that and replay the point. So in between games here, we'll go over the match format for you. And also look at today's lineups and the entire roster for both teams. Great hands by Lawson.
Great hands, Lawson.
Sorgi hit what looked to be a winner, and Lawson said, not today. And again, the finish by Lawson. Lawson seems to have figured out the puzzle that is Scott Hedrick and Jordan Sorgi. Kitchen Crew with the serve in the lead. Here's the cut. Lawson handles it nicely.
Drop.
Oh, Hedrick.
Nice finish by Hedrick.
Hedrick says, you want to target me? Bring it. Good play there by Scoots. Lawson now. Should be over here. Yes, sir. There he goes. Okay, Lawson with the second serve over to Hedrick. And here we go.
Couple drives in it. Wow.
Great hands at the net. That catch the line? No, it didn't. It was out. A 2-point lead now for Lawson and Davison. Very good kitchen play there. Twice we thought the point was over, and Air Jordan survived. Oh,
just missed that.
Into the net. You're going to see it a couple of times tonight. They just have to figure it out and make sure that ball gets over the net and play from there. Oh, Hedrick unable to handle that one.
Oh,
uncharacteristic out of Lawson. He had to finish and left it in the net. It's a shame. That puts your lead at 1. That might have been deep, and it was. Side out, kitchen crew.
Oh, short return by Hedrick for the win.
He caught Lawson off guard there. He couldn't get to it and get his paddle on it. Ended up into the net. So second serve over to Davison. We'll be serving to Sorgi. Look for that cut return. And there it is. Into the net. It looks like we hit rewind.
Yeah. Yeah, those things are tough. I mean, you really have to lift them up, but you don't want them to be too high that they can volley it out of the air.
That looked to be out, and it was. Davison not happy with himself. Hang in there, Shad. It'll come. It'll come. We're all square at 12. This one's to 15 straight. No win by 2 in league play. Hedrick drops one into the net. Sorgi will take the second serve for Air Jordan. The screenplay. Oh, great hands by both players. And Davison chooses Hedrick to shoot at, and Hedrick couldn't handle it. A great shot by Davison there. Great choice. That'll be side out, kitchen crew.
Well, we got to see some good dink in there and a solid put away when it should have been taken.
Yeah, we're in the semifinals, Jordan. You're going to see a lot of really, really high-level play here at the Ohio Valley Pickleball Club. We have results in from Court 2. The kitchen crew took game number 1 on line 2 action, 15-8. So what does that mean, Jordan? Well, for line 2 action.
So line 2 actions is going to take 3 points on that line, and line 1 action's worth 4 points. But you know, the thing that we've seen this season about line 2 is it can be just as critical as line 1 because you know, any points lost are points lost, and you can't afford to do that, especially come playoff time.
Right. We're going to very shortly here. We're going to go ahead and put an infographic up on the screen just to talk a little bit about the format. But that line 2 will go to a second game. It's best 2 out of 3 games, and you know, if the kitchen crew were to secure that second game, they would win that line and secure the 3 points. We're all locked at 13 here in this one, and it is coming down to the wire. That's exactly what we wanted. Great for viewers, great for us, and great for both of the teams involved.
Yeah, just really great play from both sides.
Oh, Sorgi stole that one. They thought they were safe by hitting it back to Hedrick, who got stuck at the baseline. Sorgi recognized it. Here's Jordan now with match or game point. Nope, into the net. The kitchen crew survive and get a side out. Now, oddly enough, 2 points here by the crew, and they take the game. There is no win by 2.
That's right. The interesting thing about the formatting here is it's straight to 15, so you don't have to win by 2, and all you got to do is be the first to 15, which really changes it up a little bit, puts a little bit more pressure.
It does. A lot of pressure on this serve right here. The third shot is good. And now we play at the kitchen. Oh, that looks like a put away, and it is. We're all locked. Next point wins. Lee Palachetti is on his feet. cheering on the kitchen crew.
Kitchen crew with the advantage because they've got the serve.
This is huge. Air Jordan really needs this to try to even up this match and send it to a dream breaker. Oh, they survive. Air Jordan now will have 2 serves to win the game. If we can get Joel Palicetti over here after this game, we are going to throw up an infographic.
And
all right, the crew survives the first serve. Hedrick will now be serving for the match. Hedrick will be serving for the match, and there it is, off to Davison. Davison cross court, gets a put away. Nope, plays it safe. Oh, and he missed it. That is game. Game 1 goes to Air Jordan. So line 1 goes to Air Jordan. Line 2 goes to the kitchen crew. This couldn't ask for anything more, Jordan.
That's right. And looks like we're going to have a break in play here and get ready for the second.
Yeah, both lines will now get some water, talk some strategy, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about our teams, our rosters, and our match format. So we can't give enough thanks to Joel Palicetti, who is running the show for us from an IT perspective. The infographics, the scorecards, the live streams, everything that you see but don't know where it comes from, you can bet it comes from Joel.
He really is the tech guru here. We're lucky to have him.
There you see it, Jordan. This is our match format. Talk to me a little bit about how these matches are played. We have 2 teams.
Yeah, we've got 2 teams playing on 2 courts. We know best of 3 games to 15 points straight through. Then when it becomes really interesting is the Dream Breaker, which follows, and it's played to 30 straight points. And what we're doing is splitting it every 5 points. So you're getting all 4 players from both lines in action, switching out every 5
points. On the same court, but not at the same time.
That's right. And
so from what I understand, then the first pair comes on and plays till somebody gets 5. And then all 4 switch out, and the next 4 come on, and they play till the leading team gets to the next multiple of 5, which would be 10, and then 15, all the way to 30. So each pair is going to play three individual legs of that Dream Breaker.
That's right, JT. And the interesting thing that the viewers may see is the pairings don't have to be the same from the first games.
Several times in league play, we've seen captains switch that up, and it's very strategic how you're going to want to play it, especially if they split the first 2 lines and there's a 1-point difference going into that Dream Breaker. Then everything relies on that Dream Breaker. So hopefully we get to see a Dream Breaker here in this early matchup. Let's go ahead and take a look at our lineups for today. We have Air Jordan and the kitchen crew. So I'll take care of Air Jordan, captained by Jordan Sorgi, one of the top players and highest rated players in the entire club. And on his team are Johnny Balancic and Diana May, who aren't in the lineup tonight. We play 4 of the 6. Johnny Balancic and Diana May are not in the lineup tonight. You may see them in the championship should Air Jordan survive. Also in the lineup is Greg Borey, Scott Hedrick, and Carter Huffman. Jordan, you want to take care of the kitchen crew for me?
Yeah, that takes us over to the kitchen crew, captained by Willie V. Vogelin. He is a brick wall, fantastic player, longtime member of the club. He is partnered up tonight with Lee Palicetti, and playing the second line. And of course, the first line, as you've seen, has been Rashad Davison and Mark Lawson, 2 other fantastic players. Now, not in the lineup tonight will be Eric Balancic and Mark Palicetti, 2 other fantastic players that we're just not going to be able to see any play out of tonight.
Well, let's switch over to line 2 action. Get them a little bit of TV time. And what you see here, we've got Lee Palicetti and Will Vogelin representing the kitchen crew out to an early 3-0 lead over the pair from Air Jordan, Greg Borey and Carter Huffman. Borey on the left there in the far court, and Huffman returning serve in the long white t-shirt. And Huffman, just as we call Huffman, with a great finish, the patented Huffman backhand.
Yeah, that was a great put away. Looks like Lee serving now. puts one up to Huffman. And Willie puts it away.
Yeah, Borey couldn't handle that one at close range, but who could? I mean, you get Willie V with a waist-high shot from the kitchen line. Good night.
That's a lot of speed coming at your chest. Oh, nice third shot drop by Lee.
Yeah, Willie can give you problems from the baseline. You give him one waist-high at the kitchen. Good night.
Boy, some fantastic dinking from Lee Palicetti. Sets it right up for Willie V with the overhead smash.
Yeah, and I say this time and time again. Willie gets all the glory there because he got the put away. Greg gets some of the, some of the razzing because he's the one that got hit with the smash. But truly, the play was set up there by Lee Palicetti.
Lee set it up for Will to come in and finish it, and that was a textbook pickleball play right there.
And this one could be over early. The kitchen crew out to an early 7-0 lead. This could be insurmountable at this point.
Another nice drop by Palicetti.
Oh, a little bit too much from Willie B. He was feeling it though, wasn't he? Huh?
That one got away from him.
3 straight putaways. It feels like anything you hit is going to win. Now Borey is trying to get Air Jordan on the board. Going for the drive, drop. Executed nicely by Borey, and the finish.
Handled that one all himself. Nice work by Borey. And he continues to serve on the first serve.
You've seen the third shot drop. Borey employed the ninth shot drop there, and it worked to perfection.
That's right. You saw a lot of drives there, and then he switched to the drop at the last moment and finished it out himself.
Huffman again sets Borey up for the 5th shot drop. Borey unable to finish. Huffman now will take the serve for Air Jordan. They need a couple on the board badly here. Was that deep? No, looks to be in. Huffman hanging his head, not happy with its return. Lee Palicetti takes the serve for the kitchen crew. A nice deep return by Huffman, and a great drop by Lee. 4 or 5 in a row.
Look at that.
Just missed it there.
Yeah, he just missed that one, but a lot of nice drops from him tonight. So, now we move on to Willie serving.
Lee, ever since we switched to court 2, we've seen nothing but good from Lee. He dumped one into the net there, but that is very, very typical. The kitchen crew seem to have court 2 in hand. We're going to switch back over to line 1 action on court 3. There seems to be a timeout here. Another early lead by the kitchen crew. Let's switch back over to court 2. The kitchen crew seems to be dominating the second leg of competition on both courts. Borey with the overhead, unable to be handled by Willie V. And that'll bring up second serve here for the crew. Willie's got that patented 2 squat prep before each serve.
Yeah, you know, I would just reminded me of his basketball days at Wheeling Park High School.
Before the free throws?
Before that free throw, yeah, and he transferred that same technique over to pickleball.
Well, it worked for him in hoops, and it's certainly working out for him here at pickleball.
That's right, a great multi-sport.
A lot of crossover athletes here at under the canvas at PA.
That's right. We've seen a lot of crossover players. You know, maybe a few less tennis players than we've expected.
Oh, Lee, that was silky smooth.
What a fantastic finish by Lee. But yeah, we've got what do we have, about 5 or 6, a handful of former tennis players that have just
seem to be closer to a dozen. 5 or 6 are really climbing up the ranks quickly. Some of the top guys in the club have a tennis background, or at least a racquetball background. You know, you grow up with a racket or a paddle in your hand. It's going to be a much easier transition into pickleball. And the majority of the players here, honestly, Jordan, have played less than a year. I know yourself, you've played a little bit more than that. Rashad, a few other handful, Scott and Greg have played some pickleball, but the majority of the players have been playing for less than a year. And to be quite honest, it's pretty amazing the level of play for that short time.
Oh, you weren't kidding, JT. I mean, I just came up on my 1-year anniversary from playing, and I'll tell you what, it's been the best year of my life.
Is that right? I thought you had played for years.
Now, I wish I had. My dad actually introduced me to the sport about 3 years ago, and the first time I played, I didn't care for it much, but if I would have picked it up then.
All right, let's go check in on court 3 action, and line 1 still seems to be well in hand by the kitchen crew. If the kitchen crew were able to hold on here, this would even the match and force a 3rd game.
Yeah, the kitchen crew did the best thing that a team could have done coming off a close loss like they had. You know, they came out firing, and they're up 7-0. They've got a solid lead. But JT, we all know sometimes when you have a big lead like that, what can happen?
No doubt about it. I've heard it from day one when I picked up a paddle. It's a game of runs. You just have to try to avoid the big ones. And it seems like the Air Jordan was unable to do that early in this match.
That's right. You know, when you get a lead like that, you just want to be careful. You don't want to let off the gas at all, because whenever you do that, pickleball is an interesting game where people can go on runs quite quickly and they could catch up fast. So the kitchen crew really wants to do their best here to not let them score many points, get that ball back, and keep that pace going.
As we're sitting here talking, the Air Jordan puts 2 quick ones on the board and closes that gap. Unfortunate service error there by Jordan Sorgi. Brings Hedrick up the 2nd serve. Oh, jeez.
Well, that drive was handled well by Davison. And
Davison handled it nicely. I feel like they're finally starting to catch the speed, catch the spin, and that's been the biggest difference for them here in game 2.
No doubt. Now that they've seen his play, both Sorgi and Scott Hedrick's play now for 1 game, it's helped them kind of adapt and adjust. And
I certainly wouldn't call it unorthodox, but it's certainly upper level. Upper level is the best way I can describe it. You know, you've seen topspin, you've seen drives, you've seen underspin, but not like you see off the paddle of Sorgi.
And it looked like Hedrick wanted to get out of the way of that one for fear of it going long, but just couldn't do it in time.
Davison handles it nicely. Another one into the kitchen. Setting himself up nicely. Davison may have figured out the Jordan Sorgi puzzle here.
That's right.
10-2.
Just fantastic playing there.
Oh, Davison taking over here. Missed that one, but certainly he looks to be wanting to get his paddle on a few more balls.
That's right. When you see that from Davison, you know he's feeling it. And sometimes, I mean, from someone who plays with him a lot, you just got to let him go, because when you're feeling it,
he's definitely feeling it. And well, he should be. He's made some fantastic shots here to put the kitchen crew in a great position to steal game 2.
Oh, and there's a...
Yep, and this is just what we talked about. When it rains, it pours. You start to find a little bit of weakness. You start to feel a little bit down on yourself. Hedrick needs to forget the last point and play the next one.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
Well, 2 missed drops from Hedrick, which you don't see much of.
That is a quick side out. Now the crew has a chance to add to their lead and put this one away early. We may be heading back over to court 2 sooner than we thought. So we've got 11-2 reported on court 2. So both games seem to be well in hand and both to the advantage of the kitchen crew. Oh, Lawson with the put away. Sorgi was able to handle the smash from Davison, but he popped it up and Lawson said, no, not this time. Okay, so they seem to be handling the cut return from Sorgi now.
Quite well, actually.
Well,
he just left that one a little too high.
Not too much you can do there. He hit the back line with that shot. Lawson was 3 feet off the court. That's a great serve by Sorgi, handled nicely by Davison. That looks to be a put away, and it was. Beautiful, beautiful read there by Davison. Normally that shot would be down the middle. Sorgi knew it. He leaned that way, and Davison just hit him on the backside. Sorgi, with his speed, unable to get there. We're still with an 8-point lead here for the Kitchen Crew. Hedrick trying to make something happen here with the serve. He drives one at Davison, and it works. Air Jordan gets on the board again. So now they cut the lead to 7. Hedrick serves over to Lawson. Lawson with a medium return. And Davison sets himself up. Hedrick was able to Hedrick was able to keep the point alive, but Sorgi on his way back onto the court wasn't able to handle the shot from Davison. So the side out goes back over to Lawson and Davison to add to their lead here and force game 3. That one looked deep. It was not. The lob is deep.
Looks like we just got a. Okay.
Kitchen Crew adds a point there, 12-4.
Looks like we got a score update from court 2. It's 14-2 in favor of the Kitchen Crew.
14-2. We're over to game point over there. Let's switch over, and there it is. So now, Kitchen Crew won both of those games. So now they will wait. They'll have to sit and wait and watch the end of this before the Dream Breaker, if there is a Dream Breaker. Should the Kitchen Crew win this line, this match will be over.
That's right.
15-2, Kitchen Crew takes game 2, and so they get the 3 points there for line 2 action. So the match score is Kitchen Crew 3, Air Jordan 0. Air Jordan leads this one 1-0, but that looks like it's going to change rather quickly, Jordan.
It sure does. Right now the Kitchen Crew's got such a commanding lead that it would be hard to see them blow it.
Seemingly insurmountable at this point. Kitchen Crew just needs to put 3 more on the board, and Air Jordan is 10 points away.
That's right. Lawson with the first serve. Oh, and Hedrick can't return that one.
Correction, 2 points away.
2 points away.
All right, Lee Palicetti in the house. We are at game point for the Kitchen Crew to force game 3. Exactly what we're looking for. In between games, we will bring you some player bios. Thanks to Joel Palicetti. And that is going to do it, folks, for game 2. And the pair of Lawson and Davison have forced game 3 here in line 1 action. Well, Jordan, what happens here now? So what are we pulling for as announcers?
Well, for announcers, we want to see this go as long as possible. So we're looking for
a nail-biter. What do we want to happen here?
We want to see game 3 go tight, long, and
15-14, favor of.
We want to see Air Jordans take this 3rd game.
Now, see, you're supposed to be impartial. I don't care who wins, but it'll make the broadcast longer and will make for much more drama should Air Jordan come out on top in game 3 of line 1 action. That will give us a Dream Breaker. Otherwise, this match is over.
That's right. And, ultimately, the Dream Breakers are a lot of fun to add to the mix because when you get to see them, you get to see a lot of different stuff going on. You get different pair-ups, you get different pairings. You might not see, the same type of dynamics going. And ultimately, it's just a lot of fun to watch.
For sure, Jordan. Thank you for that. We're going to take a look at your captains' bios for both teams. We have the captain of the Kitchen Crew, Willie, commonly referred to as Willie V. Vogelin of the Kitchen Crew. He is the captain, has placed himself, started out at line 1 action, assessed his team, and has placed himself down the line to action, and it's really worked out well for the kitchen crew.
That's right. You got to hand it to him. What a humble guy, humble captain, because he's just as good as, I mean, he could be playing the first line, JT, just as well as I know. Definitely a line
Especially
one player.
recently as he's adopted his short game.
That's right. But he, took the humble route, went to the second line, and they've done quite well with it.
Talk to me a little bit about that. You see bullet point number 2, Willie has recently adopted a soft game to keep up with the evolution here at the High Valley Pickleball Club.
That's
Tell me
right.
a little bit about that, Jordan, because you
So,
seem to have one of the better soft games in the club.
so it's easy to get kind of caught up with the speed of the court, playing with a fastball, playing on a fast surface. It's easy to hit the ball hard. And when you first start playing the sport, you want to hit it hard because it's essentially a wiffle ball and you've got a hard paddle. However, what Willie did was he transformed that and he turned himself into a player that has added a different dynamic to his game. So you'll see now from Willie V a lot of third shot drops that he didn't normally do before. He did a lot of drives and some dinking in the mix, and he's added that extra dynamic. So now, when players are coming up against him, they know that they're going to see a different element to him, and he's done real well with that.
So we are already back to Game 3 action. No score just yet. Going back to that infographic, you saw there on the screen that third bullet point. It said leads this week's duper dump. Are you familiar with that, Jordan?
The duper dump?
The duper dump. So
no, you'll have to
all
speak
throughout
to
the week, we turn in scores to duper, which stands for Dynamic Universal Pickle Rating, and that gives you your player rating. So all throughout the week, I think there was over 140 scores turned into duper, which significantly changed people's ratings in the club. And this week, Willie V had the greatest jump in his duper score or duper rating. So he led this week's duper dump.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised knowing that he's now added that extra element to his game. So good for Willie.
And that was something that was reported, I believe, page 6 or 7 of this week's newsletter for the High Valley Pickleball Club, which you can see on social media at the High Valley Pickleball Club or on Instagram. We've made that available to the public. All you got to do is like, follow us, and share on all of our social media outlets. But there's a weekly newsletter, and it has the top 10 movers in the duper dump for this week. Yeah, that's something new. And again, the club is infamous for every week there's something new, something better. The guys just aren't satisfied with where the club is at. They have visions. They want to make it better and better. They have ears. Most importantly, they listen to the club members, and they really want this thing to be as great of an experience as it can be for everybody involved.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you can't ask much more from a club. And for all the listeners out there that are thinking about either getting into pickleball or thinking about joining the club or getting more involved in the club, make sure you head to the social media pages because you can keep up to date with all the different happenings. And when you talk about happenings, what have we had? All kinds of different leagues now, JT, different styles of leagues, and even different. You don't even have to commit to a full league. You could play just an event that's happening one particular day, right?
Absolutely. Multiple opportunities for people to get involved with the game on multiple different levels and multiple different formats. What you're watching tonight is the semifinals of the playoffs of our very first team league. Oh my
nice
goodness.
Try by Lawson.
What almost an incredible save by Lawson there. Boy, you like to see people giving up their body for the love of the game.
That's right. The kitchen crew just handled about a half dozen resets, and it looked like they might move their way up to taking the point, and just a tough one given up by Lawson, but he certainly fought for it to the very end.
And the kitchen crew out to an early 3-0 lead, which doesn't sit well for Air Jordan. They need to win this game to force that dream breaker and still be alive in the playoffs and in contention for the first ever Fall Brawl Team Competition Championship, which should take place this Thursday evening, which will be live streamed at Generations Restaurant and Bar.
Well, that'll be fantastic, and just another great Just another great finish by Davison and Lawson, which forces second serve for the Air Jordan team.
Oh, an errant serve by Hedrick. They can ill afford that at this juncture.
Yeah, you don't.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah.
There in the distance, you can see young Jace Sorgi, son of Jordan, watching Dad try to bring his team into the Dream Breaker.
Oh, you just love to see that. Having family on the court too.
I saw him before the match. He's walking around with his little pickleball paddle. He and Jordan were hitting the thing around a little bit. He's got a ways to go to catch Dad, but I can't tell you. I know the Sorgis. I know the family. I can tell you the kid's going to be an athlete.
Well,
Just runs in the genes.
It all starts with getting that paddle in the hand too. I know that's one of the first things I did with my young son, was I got him a paddle to hold around and get used to.
Davison seems to be taking over the match. He said, enough of this. Sorgi has something to say about it. Gets Air Jordan on the board. It's still early, but really the momentum has swung in this match. It's really leaning heavily to the kitchen crew.
Yeah, what you saw the kitchen crew really adapt to the play style of Air Jordan quickly. I mean, they took the first game, which was really a nail biter. They turned it around completely and took all the steam away from Air Jordan in the second
For
game.
sure.
Let's just see if they can keep that continue through this
They never took their foot off the gas there in that second match, which you warned us about. It can happen very easily, and they stayed focused and consistent with the game plan. And just as I say that, Jordan Sorgi catches us with another beautiful backspin return. And for those of you out there watching, why do they keep hitting that into the net? Trust me when I tell you, they're doing everything in their power to return that ball over the net. It's so difficult with that many revolutions.
That's right. And again, it goes back to, we're playing on a faster surface with a faster ball, and you're just going to see a little bit more of that today.
Handled nicely there. Sets himself up for the finish, but unfortunate. Hits it just deep. I think he was actually aiming for Hedrick on that point. Hedrick was able to get out of the way. It's a very viable shot.
It is.
Very viable, and some people might call it unsportsmanlike. It's a wiffle ball. Let's face it. It's not going to hurt you.
No, JT, that's a great point. And what we saw on that was when you're running after a ball, sometimes you find yourself running after a ball. And the hardest thing about running after a ball is when you're moving forward, that ball is going to go that much forward.
You already have
sometimes your only target is to hit that person with the ball.
That's a great point, Jordan. I thank you for it. Oh,
what a get.
What a defensive play by Sorgi. Jordan. So many good defensive shots. And when he gets his opportunity, couldn't take advantage. Side out over to Lawson Davis. And again, they're on an odd score. That's why you're seeing the stack. It looks as if no one's covering the left, but quickly Davison slides over, and now we have both players in position, but unfortunately dump one into the net. Second serve over to Lawson. He will stack again, undoubtedly. 5-2-2 for those of you at home. All right, look for the reset. No. A little bit high on the reset there. Sorgi was able to take care of it. Side out, Air Jordan. I think at this juncture, we're going to find that the teams making the least mistakes will pull this game out.
Well,
very tight game, and both seem to be trying not to lose instead of trying to win.
Yeah, and when you enter league play and tournament play, that's one of the best pieces of advice you can receive as a player, truly, is never play not to lose. You have to go in there playing to win.
Oh, a very aggressive shot by Hedrick from the baseline. Turns out well for him.
Yeah,
and Air Jordan all of a sudden has tied this up, and Davison strategically uses it one of his timeouts. Listen, I've been on the end of those timeouts 3 times last week. Every single time he used it perfectly. We were on a roll. He calls the timeout. Next thing you know, the roll is over. So one of the best in the league at timeout usage.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that.
Sure.
So for example, what we were just seeing now was it looked like, I mean, if I think Air Jordan went on about a 3-point run there. They went from a 5-2 deficit to a 5-5 score, and we're still moving. Now, what is the advantage to Davison calling that timeout like he did when he did?
Well, there's a lot of momentum there for Air Jordan, and you get on a roll. Your partner gets a little bit down. If he happens to hit a couple of bad shots, you take the timeout, regroup your thoughts, put them on ice a little bit, and the next thing you know, there is no momentum coming out of the timeout. And it works time and time again. I don't know if it's psychological, it's physical. I just know that it works. And Joel has Jordan Sorge's captain's bio pulled up for us here. So Jordan Sorge is the captain of Air Jordan. He does have a tennis background from high school, which is part of the reason you see a lot of that top spin from him and a lot of that underspin. He's able to do it like nobody else. He's got one of the most feared return of serves in the game, and you've seen that time and again tonight. Second highest rated duper in the club, and quite frankly, he's good at everything. I mean, what can you say about the guy?
No, that's right. And one of the things that you see quickly from those tennis players turned pickleball players is their ability to put topspin on the ball so well and so quickly. And that alone is one of the things that a lot of beginner players, it takes them months and months to learn, let alone, to master.
And I think Air Jordan just put another point on the board while we were talking. I think it's 6-5-2 at this juncture. A great save there. Two great saves by Lawson. They seem to be targeting Lawson's sideline. A great point there. Turns out in favor of Air Jordan. 7-5-2. There we go. We got the score corrected on the screen. 7-5-2. Okay, all right. Side out now over to Lawson and Davison. Let's see if they can make something happen.
Okay, so the timeout didn't necessarily ice them on that situation. They were able to pick up another 2 points, but ultimately that was the most that they got there. And now it looks like it's back
Yeah,
to the
two
kitchen
doesn't
crew.
seem like a lot, but it is. Oh, I think that ball was in.
Wow, well, great shot by
Great shot by
Lawson.
Lawson. Yep. And a good call by the opponents. That's something that viewers might not know at home. The players are calling their own lines.
That's right,
And
JT.
whatever side the ball is on, it is that team's call. So Air Jordan could have called that ball out, but if either one of them saw it, they certainly would do the sportsmanlike thing and call it correctly. If they didn't see it, they'll ask their opponents for help, and the opponents are always obliged to help. And 95% of the time, you're getting the right call between the four players.
Hey, that's the truth, JT. And it's nice to see that in pickleball because the more players you play against in a club, the more you see that everybody's just trying to be fair to each other. And really, if you look at the official rules of pickleball, it's always make the call by giving your opponents the benefit of the doubt.
No doubt, no doubt. And it's one of those things too. You take a look at these four guys. I promise you, not one of them knew each other 6 months ago. Not
That's right.
one. And now we have four guys playing on the same court that I truly believe each and every one of them would tell you, that's my buddy, that's my friend. And that's the thing that pickleball has really done for me. I've got 40, 50 new friends out of it.
Well, that's true. And, to add on that, JT, the interesting thing is another great finish by Davis.
Wow.
The other
This is
interesting
upper
thing
level
about that is,
pickleball we're seeing
and
right
it's
now.
not just new friends in your age bracket, isn't it?
Not at all. Not at all. That's the thing I love about pickleball. Young and old, male, female, it doesn't matter. The learning curve for pickleball is one of the shortest that there is. It really is. You could be, matter of fact, we're doing intro class right now, boot camp for pickleball. 4 1-hour classes, and those people are playing.
Now,
And they're playing, and they're very, very social.
and are you seeing all ages coming in
We
there?
see all ages. We see all ages. Now we do cap it on the low side. Now, why are they switching sides here, Jordan?
So on the third game, once you hit 8 points, you switch sides. So you're basically game one, you're playing one side. Game two, you're playing the opposite side, and then you switch at the eighth point just to make it even.
So
So
this is an equitable change to make sure that everybody plays the same amount on either side of the court if it happens to go 3 games.
That's right.
These guys have thought of everything.
They sure have. And another close one here with an 8-7 in favor of the
This
kitchen
is
court.
exactly what you called for, right? This is what you wanted.
It's the truth. We'll see how it turns out.
So getting back to your beginner players, we really, you know, we capped it on the low end. 16 years old is the lowest you can be to do our pickleball boot camp. But surprisingly enough, we opened 2 classes in January, 18 spots for each class. They filled up in a couple of days, and within another day we had a waiting list. So we went ahead and opened 2 classes in February, and before you know it, all 36 of those spots were full as well.
Oh, that's
so
fantastic.
within the next 8 weeks, we're going to graduate 72 new players into the game of pickleball, and we can't be happier about it. The main reason that we are doing what we're doing is to grow the sport locally, because we know the train's coming. You know, you either get on the train and ride, or you get run over by it. I don't like getting run over.
Well put, JT. You know, soon enough we may be talking about how 3 courts just isn't enough at this facility. It seems like the Ohio Valley Pickleball Club has certainly grown so much just in that.
Well, don't think that hasn't been discussed, Jordan. You know, and the largest outdoor facility we have locally is now up at Ogilvy, and you're talking about 6 courts. So it's double the size of this. But I can tell you before long, there's going to be a facility outdoors with 12 to 15 courts. That's how quickly this sport is growing, and somebody's going to take advantage of it, find a spot, put the courts, and I can almost guarantee you that OVPC will be there with it.
I like to hear that. I like to hear that, JT.
A little bit long there. We didn't miss too many actual points. We're at 9-8-2. Jordan serving over to Rashad. Jordan misses into the net. That would be side out to Davison and Lawson.
Yeah, Air Jordan takes the lead here for the first time.
So in order to see a dream breaker type tiebreaker, we are going to need to see Air Jordan take this game. They have a slim lead at the present moment. A nice lob by Lawson. He puts one to Sorgi's backhand, and Sorgi makes a dive.
And Davison finishes it.
Unable to keep the point going. I thought Jordan went to get a drink. He was off screen for so long. What a great save. And really, all too often, somebody makes a great save on what you thought was a winner. You hit the next one into the net. Credit there to Lawson and Davison. They did the right thing. They put the ball where it needed to be and ended up with the point anyway.
Yeah, and that point hole was a prime example of the club motto of never give up on a ball, wasn't it?
Never give up on a ball. You can, if you look to the left of your screen right now, you can see the second half of that saying on our pickle wall. And a pickle wall is something that you can practice on by yourself. The wall never loses. He always gets it back. I've played lots of games against that wall, Jordan. I've never won one.
The wall never loses.
Oh, man, that was close.
Close one, call out by Lawson. Looked like it was just wide.
We're all knotted at 9. And a lot of times, again, the guys that play with a lot of top spin, the ball looks like it's going to be out, and it can drop in a hurry. So some of those tough calls, you know, some of those are very, very tough calls. Side out over to Lawson and Davison. Davison serves over to Hedrick. Hedrick with a nice deep return.
Oh, and
man.
Sorgi touches it.
Off the tip of Sorgi's paddle. That's going to give another point to the kitchen crew. This could make for an early night here in game, or our first matchup. Woo! Lawson tried to go with a tweener there, but it didn't work out. Now you see the guys not quite hitting it super hard, but they're just making sure that their opponents stay back. Talk to me a little bit about that, Jordan.
Yeah, so one of the most interesting and important things about playing pickleball is that what we call the baseline, which would be where everyone's standing right now, is really a defensive part of the court, and you want to work your way to that kitchen line or non-volley zone that we call it, because that becomes the offensive part of the court. Really, you're not going to score points from the back line. You're going to score points from being up at that kitchen line.
So from a strategic standpoint, if your opponent is back, you don't necessarily have to hit it very hard at them. You just have to hit it in that direction to keep them back.
That's right. You don't want to hit a shot that's so soft. Oh, and
really good hand battle there, Jordan. Sorry to interrupt.
Fantastic hand battle. Yeah, and so you really just want to keep them back. You don't have to hit it hard, but as long as you can keep them from getting up to that kitchen line, you're doing your job.
Oh, man, a drive from half court. You know, he's halfway between the kitchen line, halfway between the baseline. He's still able to hit that dipper, the big dipper, I call it. Lawson with a finish. Oh, a line call here. I don't know what it
looks like. Hedrick called it out.
Hedrick calls it out.
Like a super close one.
11-10-2. Is that where we're at? Again, a very, very close call. It's very hard in the heat of action to make the correct call all the time. Who knows if that was the correct call, but I can tell you, I know these guys, they're making calls as honestly and as fairly as they can.
Well, and, you know, the other thing that, you know, I've kind of grasped after playing for a year is what's out. Let me put it this way. It really depends on where you're standing on the court as to, in your point of view, as to what ball is out and what ball is in.
So Davison with a point, scores a point there for the Kitchen Crew. This one is tightening up again. Air Jordan holds a slim 1-point margin. We'll go over to serve number or side out for Air Jordan. Air Jordan needs 3 points to force the Dream Breaker, and the Kitchen Crew just needs 4 to win the match and advance to the finals. All right, serve number 2 now coming from Air Jordan.
2-1-2.
Oh boy.
The backhand third shot goes right into the net.
So Davison and Lawson now need to get 4 points to advance to the finals. Jordan Sawyer. Oh, we're all knotted at 12. We're all knotted at 12. Hedrick seems to be confused about what happened there. I think that the speed, the off speed from Davison was a little bit too much to handle. All right. 12-12 second serve. Exactly what you called for at the beginning here, Jordan. I'm glad to see it. If we get a Dream Breaker, that will be awesome. If not, this has been a fantastic line 1 matchup. Lawson puts Sorgi on the defensive, and Hedrick holds ground.
Great play there.
Oh, wow, what a point. What
nice
a point. Lee Palicetti seems to be excited. Will Vogelin seems to be excited, and well, they should be. Well, they should be. What a point. 2 points away now.
Lead again.
The Kitchen Crew are 2 points away from advancing to our finals. Oh, boy. And just as I say that, they're 1 point away. We could be looking at your first finalist in the Kitchen Crew.
Oh, wow.
And Sorgi returns one into the net, not happy about it. Unfortunately, there always is a winner, and there always is a loser. It's terrible that somebody has to lose a match of that magnitude, but I promise you these guys are all going to have a drink together later and talk about what they did right, what they did wrong.
That's right.
What we'd like to do, we have Rashad Davison over here in the Players Lounge. Rashad, could you come here for a second? Rashad Davison just fresh off victory. Rashad, welcome to the broadcast. What a fantastic matchup there between the Kitchen Crew and Air Jordan. How would you say you guys made the adjustment? You lost game 1 and came back and just stormed game 2. Was there a lot of strategy involved in between games with you and your partner, Mark Lawson?
No, I wouldn't say any strategy. Mark was playing great the whole game. First game, second game, third game. I was missing a lot of drops. Sorgi got one of the best returner serves I've seen. in my short career at pickleball. So I just told Mark to keep doing what he was doing, and I made some adjustments,
I'm glad you
getting some more
brought. I'm
drops in.
glad you brought that up. We talked about it time and again throughout the broadcast. That return to serve creates problems. Your third shot is a weapon. You're either driving it
Yep,
and looking for that fifth shot drop, or you're dropping it into the kitchen and going on offense. And sometimes that return to serve can really put you on the defensive.
absolutely.
I'm glad you brought that up. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Mr. Davison. See you in the finals.
Appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. That is our first round matchup. You have just witnessed the Kitchen Crew punching their tickets to Thursday night's finals to be aired live at Generations Restaurant and Pub. Jordan, any final thoughts before we sign off and bring you matchup number 2 coming up at 9 o'clock this evening?
Well, that one was a fun one. I mean, we didn't get to see a Dream Breaker just yet, but we have a lot to look forward to in the 8:30 matchup.
Absolutely. The Dream Breaker would be nice, but we couldn't have asked for a better matchup, especially in line one action where it was back and forth all night. Unfortunately, there had to be a winner and there had to be a loser, and Air Jordan came out on the short end of the stick. But hats off to him for an incredible season, and we were very, very blessed to see some incredible pickleball from a bunch of guys who just picked up paddles less than a year ago.
That's right. In the Kitchen Crew, they prevailed, and we'll see them in the finals.
Thank you very much, Jordan. And as always, from under the canvas here at Toto Athlete Indoor Training Center, I'm JT Thomas.
And I'm Jordan Laird.
Peace. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am JT Thomas here with,
I'm Jordan Laird.
and we are under the canvas at Total Athlete Indoor Training Center, bringing you the second of two fantastic semifinal matchups in the Fall Brawl Pickle League for the Ohio Valley Pickleball Club. On court now, you can see some teams warming up. Those are members of the infamous Picklebacks, the number one seed coming into our semifinals. Jordan, let's talk a little bit about that first matchup.
Oh,
Really some fantastic action from Air Jordan and the Kitchen Crew, ultimately won by the Kitchen Crew.
yeah, truly a great matchup, and we just saw good good pickleball all around from both teams. You know, it was most interesting, notable for me was to see how the Kitchen Crew adapted to losing that first match just by a single point and coming back and taking full command of the court the second match and carrying that right over into the third.
Yeah, we saw a nail biter there in the third, ultimately won by the Kitchen Crew, securing their spot in the finals to be played Thursday night, live streamed, live on our YouTube channel and at Generations Restaurant and Pub in Wheeling.
Yeah, that'll be fantastic to watch, and we're excited here to get this next match started. But before we get started, I think we want to take a quick interview. We have a team captain here close by.
Well, we're going to get an interview with team captain Alex Palacetti, who captains Big Al's Aces. Our second matchup, they will be taking on the Picklebacks, and really, the Picklebacks came out of the gate slowly, getting having that defeat in game one of our regular season, but they haven't looked back since and have won every match, and they secured the number one seed for our playoffs and really they've been steamrolling opponents from there on out. Their
Yeah.
top four are just really A1 as far as team unity, and they really have come on strong from after that first game, and the next six they just steamrolled.
Oh, it's the truth. I mean, when you come off a loss like they did and overtake the season in the manner that they did with just straight wins from there, there's I mean, there's so much to be said about that. And right now it looks like we have Alex Palacetti, captain of Big Al's Aces, in the house for a quick pregame interview. Alex, uh, your intensity is one of your most admirable qualities in pickleball. Tell me, what was the day like for you getting yourself mentally prepared for what's to happen tonight?
Well, it started at home with three kids screaming and yelling at me. We ate some spaghetti, and after that, we did bath time and garbage night tonight on Monday nights in Woodsdale. So, how to take care of that, not slip and fall in the ice. Big game tonight. Don't want to hurt myself. Um, but the drive out here, really, I just blare some gangster rap music as loud as possible to get myself in the zone, like football days. And once I walk through those doors, it's go time.
So it sounds like when you have to focus most of your day on family time, you just have a very short window of opportunity to really get yourself mentally prepared. So you took advantage of that rap music in the car on your way
That
here. Is
ten
that
that
right?
10 minutes, just trying to focus on pushing it to a dream breaker. Really, we're the underdog here. We know it. Everybody at home knows it. I think as well. We're gonna try to take one of the lines and then see what we can do in a dream breaker because that's how we got here. Really, we're underdog in the first round, down big in a dream breaker. Came back in the dream breaker 16-7 and won 2019. So if we can somehow push it to a dream breaker, we're gonna give ourselves a chance. I think.
That's great. So carry your momentum in from the last match and right into this one.
Yeah, because I mean the dream breaker. If you can get to the dream breaker and if you feel like you have a solid two going second there, I mean the worst you can be down. If your team gets you some points, it's 15 something, right? Going into that last set of the dream breaker. So if you can, if you're going second, you're down 5-0. You're going to try to get as close as possible to 10. So when you get your second chance out there, it's around maybe 15-10, 15-8, somewhere that you can make a run there to try to get it to 20.
Now, do you have any specific strategy that you intend to employ against the Picklebacks tonight?
You know, I haven't. It's crazy because this league I haven't played with these guys in so long. Some of these guys I haven't seen on the court in months. I haven't seen Shane Wilson play in probably over a month. Barely see some of these guys. So, once you're playing against guys this good, it's really about just making the easy shot. And there's going to be some really good, remarkable hard shots. If you get beat on those, you get beat on. You can't get beat on just an easy shot. That's where the game turns pretty quickly.
That's good. So minimize the unforced errors. Really
As much as you can. You want to return serves, and you can't put serves out.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to a close game gets out of reach.
Well, thank you so much, Alex, and best of luck to
Yeah,
your
I
team.
appreciate it. Thank you guys. Sound great. Sound great at home.
Thanks to Alex Palicetti, captain of Big Al's Aces, and a real treat for all of you pickleball fans and those of the Ohio Valley Pickleball Club. We have with us in the Players Lounge the captain of the winning team from today's first matchup, the Kitchen Crew. Here is your captain, Mr. Will Vogelin. Jordan, why don't you get a couple words from Will for us?
Well, first of all, congratulations to you and the Kitchen Crew on 2 solid wins tonight.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you guys, in what I was able to see, you guys totally dominated the courts, which really was much expected coming off of how well you guys played in the season.
Well, I appreciate that. We worked hard, and it's just everything fell in line today.
That's right. And did you guys come into the match with any sort of game plan?
To win.
Just to win. I love it. Love to hear it. Well, congratulations to you guys, and we look forward to seeing you in the finals. That will be broadcasting live from Generations Restaurant and Pub.
Thank you. See you Thursday.
Thank you.
So, Kitchen Crew.
Thanks so much to Will Vogelin for giving us some valuable training center. Thank you for tuning in, liking, sharing, commenting. We're going to try to be much more interactive with you all throughout the broadcast this evening. We will be answering some of your questions. Anybody has a question, please use the chat option on our YouTube channel. We will gladly try to answer as many of those questions as we can, and we appreciate your loyalty and your family. Let's go ahead, Jordan, and take a look at the facilities here at Total Athlete. So what you're looking at now is a full court view of all 3 courts. You can see some of the players from both teams warming up as we await the arrival of 2 of our players. Let's go ahead and show you around the facility. I'm going to show you a down court view of court 1. We don't have anybody on this court right now, but we have the ability here at Total Athlete Indoor Training Center to go to each court with a downline view. And really, how gorgeous is that, Jordan? Look at that background.
JT, this is just a tremendous facility all around. And I'll tell you what, the thing that I truly like most about the Ohio Valley Pickleball Club facility at Total Athlete Center is that the courts are all spaced perfectly apart. That sufficiently allows for plenty of surface area, and even more fun than that, plenty of room for around the post shots.
The around the post shot, which is coming a regular thing around here. I can remember 9 months ago when an around the post, or ATP as it's called in the vernacular of pickleball, it was a rarity. It's becoming more and more of a regular everyday shot around here, and you see even some defenses of the around the post shot. So you can tell the level of play here at the Ohio Valley Pickleball Club has really picked up.
Certainly, and as players get more and more advanced, one of the things that they want to see from a good facility is sufficient court space to be able to do, the trick shots that you should be able to do once you get to that level. And I love that Total Athlete and the Ohio Valley Pickleball Club provides for that. But without noting, or before we leave this court, I would just want to note that the signature logo and the signature phrase of Ohio Valley Pickleball Club is "Never give up on the ball," and that's something we should never forget.
Well, we saw it several times in game 1. I mean, you saw Mark Lawson on the floor, in the kitchen, sacrificing his body for the sake of the Kitchen Crew, who advanced to Thursday night's finals. You saw it with Jordan Sawyer going off the screen for 2, 3 seconds at a time to save a ball, save a point. Ultimately, they didn't win the point, but it's true. You see it from most of the players out here. Never give up on a ball. And what are we looking at? It's not just a sign right there. What do we have there,
No,
Jordan?
the most interesting part about that sign is that it actually serves an even more important purpose, and that is a dink wall. And so, if you see the separation between the dark forest green and the light lime green, it's actually the perfect height for a net, so that when you're here and you're drilling by yourself, you can actually use that as a dink wall to practice dinks, practice speed ups, blocks, everything that you would normally do at the kitchen line during a game.
And it's not just there for its beauty, as beautiful as it is, but you can see people time and again. When you enter the facilities here at TA, Total Athlete, and you can see people down there drilling on the wall. So it's not just there for looks. It serves a real purpose, and it's part of the reason why you've seen the level of play here at the High Valley Pickleball Club pick up month after month after month. And it's truly remarkable that most of the guys that you are going to see on the court tonight have had a paddle in their hand for less than a year.
Yeah, that's the truth, JT. And there's a lot to be said about that too, because the level of play that we're now seeing at the High Valley Pickleball Club has increased so dramatically in such a short amount of time. Now we'd like to go ahead and take you to court two, where it looks like a couple of teammates are warming up for the
Yep.
match that's soon
These
to
are
be
two
ahead.
members of Big Al's Aces. In the near camera view, you see Captain Big Al himself with his length. He's sporting the base layer tonight to get himself a little bit of a sweat. Always looking to make his pickleball part of his daily workout. Keeps himself in great shape. And on the far court, you see the Argentinian sensation Diego Gatesco. Really, he's another one of our tennis players who have transformed some of those tennis skills into a fantastic pickleball game. He's quickly rising up the ranks here at the club, and like I said, those tennis skills translate so easily over to that transition into pickleball. And you can see it just in his warm-ups. Some of that spin that he's putting on the ball creates a lot of problems for his opponents.
Oh, it's the truth, JT. I mean, I've seen firsthand Diego put some spin on some shots that and some angles on some shots that I never would have expected from a pickleball player who's been playing as just as short as he has.
And now coming into your screen on the left there at center court, you see Jeremy McClellan. Again, I can't harp on it enough. He's another one of our local tennis legends. Jeremy is actually one of the tennis pros at the Horn Family Tennis Center in Ogilvy Park, West Virginia. You see him going through one of his patented warm-up routines there, the running windmill. He does that before every match. It gets him ready for running. It gets him ready for his overheads, gets him ready for a serve. Going now into the lateral skip, we call it, the somewhat semi-hurdle. But he takes the time before every match to get his body prepared for some of the rigors that he's going to face here on the court.
Yeah, and I'd be remiss not to mention that this really for Jeremy, pickleball would be his third racket sport, because not only is he a tennis pro, but he has really evolved the game of platform tennis both in the Wheeling area and the greater Pittsburgh region, and he teaches platform tennis in addition to tennis, and now he is um, also transferred over his skills to pickleball, and he'll be hosting some clinics here at the High Valley Pickleball
Yeah, I
Club.
wanted to add that as well, Jordan. Thank you for bringing that up. Jeremy has recently been certified to teach the game of pickleball. We are looking to add some level up classes or next step classes, if you would, for players at multiple different levels to take that next step to revolutionize their game. Um, and just bring it to the next level. So we are looking forward to filling up those classes just as we have filled up our intro to pickleball boot camp classes. And let's go ahead and take a look at court number 3, a down the line view of court number 3. And on court right now in the near court, you see two members of the Pickleback, the big lumbering lefty, Brett Andrews of the Glessner Horton and Andrews Insurance, and his playing partner tonight on the left there, you see Mike Moose Caruso, who really has made a tremendous rise over the past month to becoming just your average pickleball player to a very, very serious contender on the court.
Oh, that's the truth, JT. He really has started surprising a lot of us with some of his shots. Not to say that we should have expected less from him, but simply that he's come so far so fast that a lot of his shots are actually now hard to handle. Um, Now we've taken you through the courts at the facility. Before we get started, we'd like to quickly turn your attention to our chat. Our chat that's live, and we want to encourage all the viewers out there to just drop us a quick comment, drop us anything, any question you might have, or any comment you might have, or just let us know you're there because we'd love to hear from you. Like to hear from whoever's viewing.
I see we do have a comment there from Brown House, who's given a shout out to the artist for our pickle wall, Mr. Aaron Varlas. We really appreciate all the hard work that he put into that, and really that has become the signature of the club, our pickle wall. And again, you can see Jeremy McClellan going through some of his pregame routines, adding a couple push-ups to get some blood flow into the triceps and the pectoralis region, because he'll use all of that tonight.
Yeah, and kudos to you, Aaron. We can't thank you enough for such a beautiful wall.
And again, now in the far court, who you see on the left there is Tyler McCullough. Again, one of our converted tennis players who has really stormed the Ohio Valley Pickleball Club with his meteoric rise up the duper ratings. He's one of the highest raters in the club, highest rated players in the club after a very, very short time playing. And on the right, you see Jordan Sorge, who again we could not compliment enough during tonight's first matchup. He really played his heart out for his team, Air Jordan. They did come up on the short end of the stick tonight, but what an incredible fall brawl season we saw from Jordan Sorge.
Yeah, and getting back to Tyler, one of the most admirable qualities about Tyler and his playing is he is able to be so selective with his shots, and you know you won't see a ton of power off the bat with Tyler, but you'll quickly realize in watching him that this game really isn't all about power, and he's able to be so selective with his shot placements, his pace and speed, and location of shots that he's able to dominate, you know, without looking like a totally dominating player.
You hit the nail on the head there, Jordan. He's very unassuming, but you don't want to be on the other side because he's going to make you look foolish with some what seem to be very, very run of the day or run of the mill everyday shots, but he puts them in a spot, point in case right there, puts them in a spot that you just can't get to them and you can't do anything with them. And fans, I can't tell you how fortunate you are. We just had the president of the Ohio Valley Pickleball Club walk into the building. He is here to watch these semifinals. He has put countless, countless hours into the development of the club, the development of the facility. It really is. He's the unsung hero of the club. The amount of time and effort that he's put in to building this. I would love to get him on the headphones here, Jordan. If you could just pass him the headphones, I'd like to ask him a few questions before we get started tonight.
Hello.
Nathan Palacetti, welcome to the broadcast here under the canvas at the Total Athlete Indoor Training Center for the second of our semifinal matchups tonight.
Oh man, I appreciate you having me.
Well, we got to have you. You're the president, right? So, for those of you who don't know Nathan Palacetti, he's the president of our club. And like I said before, he has put countless hours and countless effort into organizing, starting, developing, forwarding the club and the facility that we can't thank him enough. Nate, it truly is what they say, build it and they will come. Um,
Yeah,
you've built it, and here we are, 100 members strong already and growing by the second.
yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, it's not just I built it. There's been a group, you, Joel, and pretty much all of our members have pretty much set the way. And by participating in the club, you have given us really a purpose because without the members and without a great group of people playing and being committed, uh, then we are nothing. We can be a vehicle for pickleball, but that's all we are. The group of people makes the club, and we're happy to be a part of it. Uh, and really, that's it.
Well, like I said, I truly appreciate the efforts, and you hit the nail on the head. Um, this isn't one person, two people, three people. This is a group of people, and certainly including all of the members of the High Valley Pickleball Club and all the players. And you can see just people coming in the facility tonight just to watch the matches live. If they, and if you can't watch it live, by all means, tune in on our YouTube channel, tune in on Facebook. We're trying to get this out to as many people as possible because we know pickleball is here to stay. And as you said, Nate, we just want to be a vehicle. So,
Exactly.
tell me this. You knew we had something, but did you ever envision that it would grow as quickly and as well as it has?
No, I think really. I mean, it's funny. Like when you think about back a year ago, there was probably a group of 20 of us just coming out here with one court, just really not even knowing the rules, and to grow into something like this, like you said, 100 people, every week growing more members, every week adding different types of events, uh, to offer, something for everybody. I think for a while there we had kind of maybe a misconception or just the thought that it was just competitive pickleball, and we do like pride ourselves in making it like opportunities to play competitively. That's kind of how we started. But pickleball is social. We say it all the time. There's open plays, there's social plays, there's opportunities to set private games and just play, with your significant other or a group of friends, or jump in a league. So, when we started, really, we just wanted to have something to do. And now, I mean, as we've seen, uh, the appetite, of what we've been kind of providing has catching on. And I don't think there's any need to slow down. I think we're versatile enough that we can, kind of see what people want, and we can, kind of double down on what they like. We can change what they don't like. Uh, and kind of just keep offering what the needs are of the club, and that's what we want to kind of tailor ourselves to.
Exactly, and we appreciate that. Now, again, you talked about growth. Less than a year ago, you were 20 strong. Now the club is approaching its 100th member, and from what I understand, you have 72 people signed up over the next 8 weeks to take an intro to pickleball class. Are these absolute beginners to the game, or are those members? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Um, I don't think that they're necessarily members, and I think some are probably beginners. I would say probably the majority are people that are interested in the game, have heard, you know, everybody's talking pickleball, it seems. So I think a lot of people just had an interest and wanted to see what it was all about. I think some other people probably did know the game and wanted to have an opportunity to kind of, learn a little bit more, have a more tailored approach to drilling, which is I think is something a little bit more that I think the club can offer as players get into the game. Uh, at first it's just fun, and it still will always be fun. But getting some instruction, learning the shots is invaluable. And so it's probably a mixed bag of new players that are on the newer end of the game, but have some familiarity with it. Uh, but yeah, there's 72 strong, 72 players that have interest, and we think we have something to show them, a lot to offer them. So we're excited for them. We're excited for the future. Where it's going to go, we don't know, but we think we're in a good spot. And
So if I'm somebody who doesn't know the rules and doesn't know how to play, is pickleball boot camp for me?
yeah, I think so. It's 4 weeks, 1 hour. You know, no stress. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna learn the basic shots. You're gonna learn the basic rules. You're gonna learn a little bit of strategy. Uh, so I think it'd be a perfect thing. I mean, it's very, very affordable. $40 for 4 hours of instruction. You can't get that anywhere. So uh, I think that'd be a great start. I think that, you know,
What do I do after that, Nate? If
yeah, if you have interest in playing, and I think the club has something to offer. Like I said, how the club works is we have like a $35 annual fee. We call that, your buy-in to the club to show that you're committed to, coming to the facility, treat the facility right. With the $35, that gives you access to our club management software, which is Court Reserve, either in the web browser or in the App Store. You can download the Court Reserve app. That pretty much is the brains of the club. It shows the offering, it allows you to register for events, allows you to reserve courts. Uh, so you would pay the $35, you would download the app, you would get on Court Reserve, you would see everything that's going on for the week. You'd automatically get subscribed to the Pickle, a weekly newsletter that is informative, it's fun, shows what's coming up, recaps the week before, shows what's coming up on the week to come. So you would get enrolled in that newsletter, uh, and from there you would just have opportunities to either jump in social plays, jump in some duper sessions, which is like a rated play, or set up private reservations with friends or people that you met in boot camp.
That's fantastic. I'm sure a lot of our viewers out there have been wondering how they get involved with the High Valley Pickleball Club. And there you have it, folks. You can find us on highvalleypickleballclub.com, ovpickleball.com, or follow us on our social, the High Valley Pickleball Club on Facebook and Instagram, and of course our YouTube channel, which we stream a lot of live. We thank you, Nate, for your time. We're going to go ahead and cut to some of our team rosters and lineups for this evening's matchup and hopefully get a couple of captains' bios in here. We're going to welcome Jordan Laird back to our broadcast. Thanks again, Nate, for your time.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, that was great to hear from Nate.
Yeah, always great to see Nate in the building. You can find him here almost daily. Unfortunately, he's not here as much as he used to be, but for very good reason. He welcomed a newborn just a little over a month or two ago, and he's having a great time with his newborn and his wife at home. And we welcome the opportunity. Hopefully someday, bring them to the club and have them become future pickleballers.
Oh,
And
that's the truth.
big shout out to Lauren out there for letting us have Nate when we can, because he is invaluable to the club.
Yeah, congratulations to Lauren and Nate. And you know, I just can't say enough about what Nate has done for this club.
So if we can get Joel to throw up some of our lineups tonight. So the second lineup tonight features your number one seed Picklebacks versus the number 5 seed Big Al's Aces. They were able to fight their way through a double dog dare stamp in the first round to earn their way into the semifinals. And truly, this should be a barn burner. The Picklebacks, like we said, started out slow but steamrolled through their next 6 games. They have such a strong lineup. It's hard to see them going down. But if anyone's going to do it, Big Al's is probably the team to do it because they have a strong lineup of their own. Jordan, why don't you go ahead and take us through the Picklebacks lineup?
Yeah, sure. So the Picklebacks tonight, they're captained by Shane Wilson. If I had to predict, although for our viewers out there, we really don't know the starting lineup until just moments before the game, and that's because teams strategically pick their lineup and they bank on the other team.
Tell us a little bit about that. There's 6 players on each team. How many's going to play tonight?
Yeah, so each team has 6 players. Only 4 will play every night, and there was a mandatory minimum that each player gets in at least 3 matches per season, and it makes sense why you want to do that. So, but tonight, obviously is going to be very strategic in who you pick to play what line. But if I had to guess, I'd say that of the Picklebacks, the first line would be Shane Wilson and Tyler McCullough, 2 fantastic players. Not to say that the other players aren't, but that would just be my prediction for the Picklebacks. Also playing for the Picklebacks, fantastic tennis player that's moved straight to pickleball quite well: Brett Andrews, James Barton, Michael Caruso, and Mike Ferns.
Fantastic. Now let's move over to Big Al's Aces. We did have a tremendous opportunity to hear from Big Al himself prior to tonight's broadcast early on, and he captains the team. He has a very strong lineup as well. Cooper Abraham, he's just a youngster, but has tremendous promise and tremendous upside. His quickness in court coverage is unmatched within the club. Secondly, we have the Argentinian sensation Diego Catesco. He really has transformed his tennis game and transitioned nicely into pickleball. And of course, we talked a little bit about Jeremy McClellan, tennis tennis pro here locally at Ogilvy Resort and the Horn Family Tennis Center. He plays several paddle sports, but he's recently transitioned into pickleball, and his game is almost unparalleled within the club. And I could see him becoming a very, very good pickleball player. Um, just with a little bit more play. Uh, Next, you have Paul Palacetti. Unfortunately, Paul is not with us tonight. He has ventured south for some warmer weather. We have recently had a freeze here in the valley, but Paul is not with us tonight. So that's one thing we do know for sure. You will not see Paul Palacetti in the lineup today. Landon Szynski is your sixth member of the Big Al's Aces. Again, very, very similar. He's a hockey player, very, very similar to court coverage, a youngster. So very strong lineups on both sides of the ball. We will see shortly. It looks to me as if the lineups have been set, and we will take a look at both of those lineups here momentarily as we get ready for the start of both matchups. Uh, let's look over at court 2, Jordan. Who do we see over on court 2?
Yeah, we've got some. Looks like we've got Jeremy McClellan warming up with Diego Vachesco and Alex Palacetti. It looks like we're just waiting on one more team member here tonight so that we can get started. There was a hockey game here before, and it took
Okay.
two guys out of the mix.
Well, it looks like I said, I don't know that these are going to be the court assignments, but we do see some warm-up still going on. This might give us an opportunity to give you a look at both captains for tonight. So we do have a bio for both captains, and wouldn't mind taking a look at those. Do we have those available, Joel? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Cooper is in the building, so it looks like Cooper Abraham will be taking the court for Big Al's Aces. So the mystery is solved. The fourth player for Big Al's is in the building and just doing some warm-ups, taking some slugs there. So let's go ahead and go to our captain's bios. The first captain we have from the Picklebacks is Shane Wilson. If you look at some of those bullet points, Shane has actually played pickleball in Europe, now not professionally. Shane is recently married to a beautiful bride, Claire, and they spent their honeymoon in Europe, mainly in Greece. And Shane was able to play some pickleball over there, so that's one of our bullet points. He was also a Division I golfer at Youngstown State University. And if you've ever played golf with Shane, you can see why he was a Division I player. His talent on the golf course and really anything that he picks up is unparalleled. And tonight he will be playing against one of his hockey proteges. He coaches the Willing Park hockey team, and Cooper Abraham is a member of that team. So we will have coach and protege possibly playing against each other on the same court at some point this evening. And Shane is also a criminal in and on the courts. And what do I mean by that? Shane is a criminal defense attorney by trade, and he is also devastatingly criminal on the courts. And I'm going to turn it now over to Jordan, who will give you our captain's bio for Big Al's Aces.
All right, for Big Al's Aces, we have Alex Palacetti. Fantastic power player, but also has that soft touch. I think it translates well from baseball, which he was a fantastic baseball player. And you might notice tonight that he will drop some in the kitchen so softly that the players can't get to it fast enough to return it. Uh,
And might I add there, Al was a quarterback of the 2007 state champion Maroon Knight football team, also earning state all-state honors that year. Tremendous, tremendous athlete in all aspects, and that has transitioned nicely over to pickleball.
yeah, it's always nice to see those multi-sport players. Now he is considered the longest in the league.
What do you mean by that, Jordan?
Well, he is. My understanding is Alex was the first of the league to play. Oh wait, wait. I'm sorry.
Look at
JT,
the
you're gonna have
wings.
to speak to that
Look,
one.
look at the look at look at the wingspan there, Jordan. I mean, this guy can cover sideline to sideline with one side shuffle.
Oh, that's
And
true.
to the viewers at home, that is invaluable in the game of pickleball to be able to take one sidestep and get from sideline to sideline. This guy's wingspan, I mean,
Yeah,
it's almost Phelps like. Michael Phelps, you saw him in the Olympics for years and years and years. This guy has that kind of a wingspan, and he puts it to good use.
that's right. And one of the things that I've noticed, particularly, or I've observed with Alex, is that he is able, because of his wingspan and his reach, to take balls out of the air that most players would have to let bounce in the kitchen area. And
Absolutely.
when you are able to do what he's able to do, that puts him in position to hit winning shots faster and put the end to the point faster than other people. So you have to be so careful and you have to be such on point with your drop shots and your dinks, because if you not and you leave it high, the point's over.
What a great point, because you can hit what you think is a great third shot drop and start to come in to follow that drop, and Alex will put it right back at your feet because he can reach those drops where other people might not be able to reach. That's a great point, Jordan. What about intensity intensified? Talk
Well,
to me a little bit about that.
well, Alex, as you've heard from the pregame interview, Alex is very, very intense. And it's such a positive trait because he is hyper focused on every single shot, every single move, and every single point in the game. Um, he is able to tone in on everything that's going on in the court, and he wants to make sure that he is on top of winning every point possible. It's nice to have a partner like that, because when you ever find yourself not focused on the game, or you get yourself down on a point that was lost, he's able to bring that back in you. And that's what you want in a captain, a team captain, and that's what you want in your number one player.
Absolutely, and you will see that time and again tonight from the captain of Big Al's Aces. He is into the game on every point. Win or lose the point, you're going to hear probably from Alex Palacetti. And that intensity is what he uses to pump himself up. Every player is different. And we are just moments away, ladies and gentlemen, from the beginning of tonight's matchup. We are just moments away, and we are go ahead and take that infographic off. We'll give you a down the line shot of some of our final warm-ups before tonight's action gets started, and we will do our best to keep you posted on both courts this evening, as we have scorekeepers for both courts, and we will try to keep you updated on both lines. So teams will now take the courts, and they will Rochambeau to see who serves, right? We will always serve, as you're looking at the courts now, always serve from right to left. So the team who wins the Rochambeau will elect which side they play on, and undoubtedly they take the serve, right, Jordan?
That's right. And while we have a moment before the play starts, we just want to give a quick shout out to Enemies Bane. Enemies Bane has been our top commenter on every viewing so far, and we really appreciate that comment tonight, talking about the anticipation building by the second. And Enemies Bane, you were excited. You said you can't wait to watch the fights today. Feels like a disservice to call this level of competition a match. Thank you so much, Enemies Bane.
I,
And
I really appreciate that, Jordan, and thank you to Enemies Bane. If any of you own that moniker out there, please text one of us. Let us know who you are. We appreciate your loyalty. We appreciate your comments, and we'd like to interact as much as we can.
Yeah,
And for
drop
those
another
of you
comment
out
in the
there,
text
just
club.
ask the questions that you want to ask on our feed, and we'll get to you. It looks like we might be underway already in line 2 action. The Picklebacks out to an early lead. Andrews with the serve, right to left on your screen. Serving over to Cooper Abraham.
Oh, what a
Andrews
lob.
dropped a fantastic lob to the
Oh, and
back.
he comes in for a drop in the
But
kitchen.
again, Abraham able to cover that court, forces Andrews into a little bit of a mistake there.
Yeah,
Anybody else in the league, that might have been a winner.
what a
Abraham
beautiful
able to
swing.
cover back to front.
And the overhead smash by Andrews, he made up quickly for that
Andrews
last
says,
point.
take that, youngster. Abraham will now serve to Andrews. So we are locked at 1-1 here on court 2. Looks like action is underway over on court 3 and line 1 action. We will get you to that momentarily. Let's see what Moose Caruso has to say. Serve over to Abraham into the net. Let's take you over to line 1 action on court 3.
Great serve by Caruso.
Looks like Big Al's Aces has taken an early lead over the Picklebacks 1-0. McClellan will be serving to Tyler McCullough. And Tyler, again and again, will put that return of serve to the back line, which is his signature. Shane Wilson unable to handle the quick hand battle there by Jeremy McClellan.
Nice finish by McClellan.
McClellan will now serve over to Wilson. Big Al's takes a 2-0 lead. Wilson with a nice deep return. Keeps McClellan to the back line. Now McClellan makes his way in. Al seems to be lagging behind just a bit, and McClellan puts it away down the line. McCullough unable to get to that one. A great shot there by Jeremy McClellan. Normally you'll see that shot go down the middle. McClellan saw McCullough leaning towards the middle and put it to the outside.
Yeah, I think Shane just left that
a
one
nice
a little
deep
bit too
serve.
high.
You'd expect this come back to McCullough, and it did. Forces him into the air. A very nice tactical play there by Alex Felicetti, hitting it to the back guy. That's something you don't see enough in pickleball, but that's the right play. McCullough puts it away past McClellan.
Yeah, he saw McClellan cheating to the middle, and he went ahead and took advantage of that. That was a great shot by McCullough.
Well, Alex tries to go down the line, and now we're at a kitchen battle. Let's see who wins. It's the soft game, ever so important. That one won by the Big Al's Aces.
Yeah, that's a good point, JT. We're going to see a lot more soft game from this matchup, I think, tonight.
Well, not if Big Al has anything to say about it. He's going to take his swings.
Yeah, and you know, that's the truth. Big Al's going to take advantage of his fast game, and he's going to try to speed up, I think, the game a little bit on these guys. And, you know, he can really capitalize from that. But just so far, it hasn't worked out, you know, in his favor, but the game is early.
Picklebacks out their early lead in this one.
McClellan with the overhand smash that can't get
I'm sorry, Big Al's out to the early lead. Sorry. Picklebacks were able to score a point there. We're on the second serve by McCullough over to Big Al. And McCullough, he's so good at that third shot drop. Al tried to leave it go, and he did, but the ball seemed to land. That's 2. So they have closed the gap, almost cut it in half here at this point. McCullough will be serving over to McClellan.
Yeah,
Almost a tongue twister, right, Jordan?
Oh, yeah.
McCullough over to McClellan.
2 tennis players, too, right?
Right. I call them pickleback players or pickleball players now. You know what I mean? I think they've made that transition.
I think that makes the most sense.
When they play tennis, we'll call them pickleball players who have transitioned to tennis.
Palicetti gets away with a serve that looks
I think
almost
it
like
looked
it
a little bit short there,
line.
right? But it wasn't called. And again, the players on the court will make their own line calls. They do the best they can, and they try to call the game as fairly as they can. And like you said earlier, Jordan, when in doubt, you err on the side of your opponent.
That's right. That's right, because it's a gentleman's sport, and you quickly catch on to that when you start playing, and it's nice that even though it's adversarial in the sense that you're playing against opponents, everyone seems to be looking
Ooh,
for everyone's best interest.
gosh, an errant
Deep,
return
deep.
there by Big Al. You don't want to see that. You don't want to lose the point on a serve. You don't want to give away a serve, and you don't want to hit a return out of bounds.
Great point, JT. This game is
Look,
all about
just as I
unforced
say that,
errors.
there's an errant serve out of Captain Wilson. Unfortunate, but it does happen. You're really trying to make them as good as you can, and sometimes you go for a little bit too much.
That's right. As you climb the ranks, and if we're talking in terms of ratings, one of the things that you notice the most is that the biggest difference between climbing ratings is limiting the number of unforced errors.
Another deep serve. They seem to be going for a lot on the serve here. In my experience, Jordan, and again, I've been at this a little bit less than you, but you're not going to win a ton of points on the serve, and you're not going to win a ton of points on the return. So let's wait for that third shot to start playing.
No, that's the truth, JT. But you know what? One thing that doesn't bother me is when I see a serve go a little bit long, that's the best place to miss on a serve. And one thing you don't want to get caught up in doing is playing not to lose instead of playing to win. So when I see a deep serve, I say this guy's playing to win. And as long as he can tone it back, that's okay.
And there we just saw one of the most dangerous shots in pickleball down the middle. That is the most vulnerable spot against any team because as much as you like to think you've got it covered, it's very, very tough for uh, for teammates to really get in sync together and make sure that that middle is covered. That is the most vulnerable spot, and it's the safest spot really for the attacking team.
That's the truth. We call it the trusty middle.
And Wilson takes advantage of it there, and you'll see it time and again. This action here in line one, you're going to see a lot of down the middle shots. They both need to start covering the middle a little bit better. Now the Picklebacks have made up that early stagger and have tied this match at 5-5. Let's take a look in at court two and see what's going on over there.
Looks like we have a 6-2 score in favor of Andrews and Caruso, who will be the teammates on your far side of the court from the
Right. So the match is advantage Picklebacks there. I think Andrews might have hit that one deep, and he did. So that goes to side out to Gatesko. Serving over to Andrews. Andrews with a nice deep return, and he'll put that one away for sure.
Yeah,
You don't want to serve. Go ahead.
Andrews really set that play up perfectly. There's not enough can be said about a deep, deep return because it often throws your opponents off just because they're off balance, and then it set him up perfectly for an overhead smash.
Unfortunate there for Gatesko. The shot from Caruso caught the top of the net, came short. Gatesko ended up putting it into the net. Not his fault. It's very, very tough to deal with that misdirection off the net, Jordan, as you well know. We're still locked at 6-2 here. It's been a defensive struggle since we tuned back in over here at court two. Oh, Caruso. Oh, I thought he had to put away there. Some nice defensive hands on the part of Cooper Abraham and Gatesko. Cooper put that one a little bit deep.
Yeah, nice point though.
And that's a point there for the Picklebacks. They take a 7-2 lead. Caruso serves over to Gatesko.
I have to say, Caruso's serve has gotten so good. It reminds me of watching Deckel Bar. I don't know if you've seen his serve, but he has one of the most powerful serves in pickleball. And the most interesting part about it is he doesn't pull the paddle back very far. He holds the ball real close.
Very quick
Yes.
quick release. It catches you off guard from time to time.
That's right.
I
because
agree
you
with your
think to yourself,
assessment there,
how could
Jordan,
someone
100%.
generate so much power from just such a short backswing? But
Well, look at the guy. He's a house. They don't call him Moose for nothing, right?
And not to mention, we have a viewer that commented that Mr. Caruso was a 3-time All-State selection while he was playing football at Wheeling Central. That's a fantastic accolade to have on your resume.
No doubt, no doubt. And we thank Mike Ferns Jr., a member of Picklebacks, for that comment. let's go ahead and move over to line one action on court 3, where we are locked at 6-6. McCullough serves over to Big Al.
Oh, a nice
Oh,
drive
Wilson with the
from
third
Wilson
shot drive.
that McClellan can't handle and puts right into the net.
Very uncharacteristic, because usually McClellan will handle that drive. He's very, very accustomed to the ball coming very hard at the net, as he, is very, very decorated in the sport of tennis. Oh, Big Al with a great shot to put McCullough on the defensive, but McCullough handles it and forces the long ball by Big Al. Point for the Picklebacks. They take an 8-6 lead. McCullough dumps one into the net. Looked like a fairly routine shot there for McCullough, but unfortunately the short hop got him. A great return by Wilson. Oh, McCullough takes advantage of the lean again. He's catching McClellan leaning towards the center, and he's putting it down the line on him. It's a very, very smart tactic, but very difficult to do. I think you can't really appreciate that on screen, but it's very, very difficult, Jordan.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it's side out now, but Alex Palicetti's his third shot drops look pretty much perfect tonight, and he's reset the ball quite well.
Well, if Palicetti is making that third shot drop, I'm sure that Big Al's Aces is going to fare well, because McClellan will sweep in and finish that point. Again, set up by the third shot drop, but the finisher always gets the credit. Oh,
and another third shot drive from Shane Wilson, which ended quite well for him.
Well, one thing I know about Wilson, if it's working, he's going to keep going to it.
Yeah,
So,
you can't blame him for that.
Big Al and Jeremy better figure out that third shot drive real quickly, or they're going to see a lot more of it.
That's right.
Wilson will keep serving that third shot drive breakfast.
Well, cross-court dink battle going on right now, which is nice to see. And
a speed up by Wilson, and he got him.
He tags McClellan with the ball for a
McClellan
finish.
seemed to be ready for it, but he couldn't handle it.
I don't think he was expecting it to come that high, but it took him right in the top part of the chest.
Yeah, if you're going to go high, you got to be right at him. Otherwise, you're going to hit it deep. And Wilson was right on target with that one. Another point for the Picklebacks.
Oh, and Wilson steps up for another great
This one's
point.
getting out of hand. 11-6 Picklebacks. Well, again, for the sake of our viewers and for the sake of our broadcast, let's hope that the Big Al's Aces can tighten this one up.
Yeah, they're going to have to reset here and try to think of a little bit of a different strategy to handle these guys.
Well, I think part of the strategy, and again, easier said than done, would be to keep those balls down. You put it waist high on these two, and they're going to make you pay.
Yeah, great finish by Alex Palicetti there. He got in a nice cross-court dink battle and finished it right to
McCullough couldn't quite scoop that one off the ground and get it over the net. Ended up into the net with a side out to Big Al's Aces. Oh, a great play there by Shane Wilson.
After a couple of very aggressive dinks.
Oh, Palicetti put a perfect dink down the line. And look at this. The point of the match so far right there. Unbelievable.
Smash. Beautiful.
They close the gap to within 4 now. And let's go ahead and check over on the court 2 and let's see what's going on there. We're at 4-9. And Abraham serves over to Caruso. Gatesco with a nice scoop. And Andrews puts it right in the corner. Holy smokes. That will be side out. Nope, second serve now coming from Gatesco over to Andrews.
And it looks like we had a quick score update. It's 11-5 in favor of the Picklebacks.
Oh, Abraham unfortunately into the net. That will result in side out for the Picklebacks. And let's check back over onto line 1 action. It's 11-7 now in favor of the Picklebacks.
A beautiful ground stroke drive from Alex Palicetti for the point on that one.
Big Al's with a point. Big Al serves over to Shane. Oh, great drop again. Shane handles it nicely, and Big Al's unable to handle that perfect shot by Shane Wilson. Results in a side out for the Picklebacks. McCullough serves over to McClellan. Again, the perfect drop. And here we go. This is it. The pickleball at its finest. Dink, dink, dink. Who's going to mess? Who's going to make the mistake? Now we're in a hands battle. Wilson takes advantage of the floater by Alex Pelicetti. 12-8 picklebacks.
You know, one thing I've noticed about some of the dinking that's going on tonight is we've seen a lot of cross-court dinking, but we haven't seen a redirection of the ball that much. What I'm talking about is after you see a couple of the same dinks to the same spots, why that ball isn't changed to a new player or a new spot on the court. We're seeing a lot of the same dinks over and over, which really just gives someone the opportunity to take aggression and take over and take control of that dink battle. And that's
Again,
exactly what's happening.
as you said earlier in the broadcast, it's one of those things where they may be playing not to make the mistake. Instead of being the aggressor and putting the ball where it's not expected. That looked to be deep, and it is.
It was.
13-8 picklebacks. They look to take control of this first of 3 possible games. And that one, oh, a deep serve by Wilson. Results in a side out, 8-13-1. McClellan over to McCullough. McCullough with the cut return. They're keeping him on the defensive. Okay, now they can come into the kitchen, and now we're having a kitchen battle. Wilson makes the first mistake. McCullough saves him, but is unable to get it as he drops one into the net. They really did a good job there keeping it at their feet. Nine 13-1 as the Picklebacks own the line here. Big Al's looking for an opportunity to come in. They haven't found it yet. Oh, they get one off of a drive.
They get lucky off of a drive.
It really was. It was just looking for them to set up an opportunity to get to the net. Wilson was unable to handle it.
And that brings them to 10-13 on the first serve still. And
it looks like we might have finished up over on court 2. Yes, 15-5 in favor of the Picklebacks. What was a close match there for a little bit turned into a rout in game 1. So they will take a little bit of a water break. And we will keep you here on line 1 action between the Picklebacks and Big Al's Aces. Big Al's, they get both players to the line? No.
Looks like it's side out, and McCullough will serve this next one.
Looking for 2 points here to close out this first.
McClellan takes probably what would be a winnable overhead smash and puts it right into the net.
I think that might be 14-11. We might not have the right score on the scoreboard. I think the Picklebacks.
Oh, what a finish by McClellan.
Wow.
To save him.
A great hand battle won there in the end by McClellan. Wilson will take second serve for the Picklebacks, 14-11. They just need one to close out game 1. A great serve by Wilson. Oh, and he dumps one into the net.
He gets a shallow return and puts it into the net.
Really got exactly what he wanted off of that fantastic serve.
JT, let's talk about how hard it can be sometimes to close out when you're up 14 and it's game point. How hard can that be for a team that's got control?
It's always hard to close out, and you really have to take advantage of every opportunity that you're given. Wilson really had an opportunity there. He was unable to convert, but I'm sure that he'll convert the next one. He's an excellent player. All right, the Picklebacks look to have the serve back. They need one of these 2 serves to result in a point to close out game 1. A nice return by Al. And forces the mistake from McCullough. McCullough will have a chance now to close it out, serving over to McClellan. Big Al's desperately needs to force a side out here. Oh, a great drop by McCullough. Big Al with an opportunity, and he converts.
Fantastic shot by
Wilson went for the ATP, just didn't have enough room, and that results in a side out. The Big Al's desperately needs some points here. Again, win by 1, right? No win by 2 here in the Fall Brawl Team League. So the first to 15 will take game 1. And the Picklebacks are able to keep them off the line there, off the kitchen line. And we will go over to service number 2 from McClellan over to McCullough. Hold up, ball on, and here we go. A nice deep serve, deep return. That's pickleball at its finest right there. You're keeping them back off the kitchen line. Here's an opportunity to come in, and now we have 4th to line. Point. Big Al's.
Good look by
That was
Palichetti to let that one out.
a great play all around. Exactly what you want to see. Unfortunately, McCullough put that shot deep, resulting in a point. They're just looking for one stop here to have an opportunity for game point. But that's not it. Down the middle goes Alex Palichetti, and we are at 13-14, another barn burner in line 1 action. A great shot by McClellan. We should have saw 2 at the line there. Uncertain why we still have 2 back there for Big Al's.
Yeah, McCullough really capitalized on Alex being back. He kept the ball deep, and it resulted in a side out.
Yeah, you really have to recognize when your partner hits a good drop and get to the line. Well, Big Al's was able to stave off one opportunity. He needed to stave off another here by McCullough over to McClellan in order to stay alive in game 1 action. McClellan hits the cut. Oh, a Patton. And did he step in? No. Patton and McCullough cut across. You'll see that time and again tonight. He's very, very good at recognizing.
Poached Ernie from Tyler McCullough to finish it.
Very, very good at recognizing when his partner hits a good drop, and he will cut across in anticipation of that pop-up, and that was a perfect example of it there. Let's cut over to court 2 action where we see a 1-1 or a 4-2 advantage now for Big Al's Aces, looking to force game 3 if they can take this one. Andrews with a great drop cross court, and Caruso takes advantage of it. And Cooper Abraham unable to keep that one alive as he dumps it into the net.
I'm going to try to bring Tyler McCullough over here for a quick interview in between game 1 and game 2.
Here we go. We're going to leave you with live action on court 2 as my partner in crime, Jordan Laird, interviews Tyler McCullough of the Picklebacks.
Tyler, we watched a barn burner in that last one.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, you were able to finish the game-winning point with a poached Ernie. How do you feel about that?
I'm glad I stretched. Nah, I didn't even see what happened after that.
Well, it was a fantastic ending to the first game. How did you feel going into that one?
I knew it was going to be close. Hey, it lived up to that. It's every bit of closeness as you can get with the game.
Yeah, a lot of good action. It looked like you were able to really keep your drops perfectly, and but you know your opponents played quite great too.
Yeah, it's one little thing here or there is going to make a difference in this match.
How do you feel going into game 2?
Pretty good being up 1.
Yeah, do you think you guys can close it out in 2?
Just keep the momentum going. So yeah, hopefully.
All right, great. Thanks. Good hearing from you.
Thanks, Jordan.
Well, we're on court 2 right now. We've got a 4-4 match between the Picklebacks and Big Al's Aces on game 2. And Andrews puts one into the net. That one got away from him just a little bit. Looked like it was short. And Gatesko with the serve for side out. And Abraham puts one into the net for a second serve now. So to Caruso with the short return that works out to his benefit as Abraham puts that one into the net. Oh, some nice dinking from the Picklebacks. Ultimately, Caruso puts that one right into the net.
4-4-2.
court 3 now for some action. It looks like game 2 got underway.
And we'd like to thank all our viewers out there for your comments. Please keep them coming. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram, OhioValleyPickleballClub.com on your web browser. We would love to entertain any questions, thoughts, or suggestions that you might have for our broadcast. Once again, I'm JT Thomas here with Jordan Laird on the call.
Yeah, I'll take us back to a comment from one of our viewers, Greg Borey. It looks like from court 2, he says, good thing that line 2 is not a football game. There's a decided size advantage, and he couldn't be more true on that one.
Here we go, game 2 action, locked in at 1-1. Another shot down the middle. We cannot emphasize the importance of down the middle and covering that middle.
Yeah, you know, JT, it's interesting because that's a good comment. I mean, don't you think that don't you initially think that, you know, finding a line on the edges of the court would be the best way to finish a shot and guarantee a point?
Well, you think that, but again, it's a little bit more risky. It comes with a lot more risk reward type of thing. And if you go down the middle, you really don't have a whole lot of risk of hitting an out ball, right? So if you see the opening in the middle, that's the safest and most vulnerable spot you're going to find. Yes, the sidelines are vulnerable, but they also come with risk, Jordan.
It almost seems like sometimes when you go right down the middle, you may confuse your opponents as to whose shot it really is.
Especially true when you have a righty-lefty combo where both forehands are to the middle or both backhands are to the middle. Now tonight we're looking at 2 righty-righty combos, so you don't have that problem. But over on court 2 action, we do have a lefty-righty combo with Moose Caruso and Brett Andrews playing in the near court now with a decided advantage 7-4 in game 2. They could secure the 3 points here for the Picklebacks with a win in this game. 8-4 now. And Moose Caruso playing with a brand new paddle bought for him by his lovely wife, Megan. He's really taking advantage of the new equipment. Oh, wow. The youngster shows some touch.
He sure does, and that was just a beautiful ending to a point by the young C. Abraham.
I don't think Caruso and Andrews were expecting the filthy touch by the youngster. And what a great shot there by the Argentinian sensation, the nightmare, Diego Gatesco. Andale! Again, beautiful touch shown by the youngster. He's starting to evolve a little bit. He's starting to get the hang of the game here. Very accomplished hockey player, very accomplished lacrosse player. My son actually coaches him in lacrosse. He's just a sophomore, but one of the more accomplished players between the lines on the lacrosse field.
Yeah, I can't say enough good about him. I've seen some things out of him tonight, even though right now is one game now. He's put some finesse on the touch on the ball that is really worth noting.
So here we are. The pair of Gatesco and Abraham have closed the gap.
Oh,
now 8-7. Oh, found the middle again, Jordan. Again, the middle.
Finish by Andrews.
Pickleball enthusiasts and pickleball beginners, find you that middle. It will bring you the reward. Abraham now, service number 2 over to Andrews. Looking to tie the score here. Andrews with a nice cut volley that puts the team of Gatesco and Cooper Abraham on the defensive. Side out. Andrews over to Abraham. Abraham puts one deep in the box. Caruso giving up his body, unfortunately just wide to the left. Again, look to the left. Never give up on a ball. Love it. Love to see it.
Caruso living true to that.
Caruso with his new paddle over to Gatesco. Vamos! Oh, Abraham not able to handle that fastball from Caruso. 9-7-2 in favor of the Picklebacks. on court number 2 in line 2 action. Let's flip over now to court 3 in line 1 action, where we see your Picklebacks have taken a 6-1 advantage over Big Al's. This could be the end in line 1 if the Big Al's isn't able to close this gap. A nice kitchen battle going on here. Dink, dink, dink. Who's going to take advantage? McCullough speeds it up.
McCullough speeds it
And
up.
Palachetti makes him pay.
You know, it's interesting, JT, as you get up in levels, you kind of notice that the person who speeds up first now doesn't always win the point.
Not always. You saw it there for sure, Jordan. I don't think it was a bad decision by McCullough. He had the ball, but Palachetti was ready and made him pay.
That's right. Palachetti was anticipating that move, and McCullough didn't look as prepared as I expected him to be for that quick shot that was coming back at him.
Good shot there by Palachetti, and a nice setup by McClellan. Really taking care of his partner on that one, and Palachetti gets the put away. Second serve, McCullough over to Palachetti. A nice drive by Wilson, and McClellan puts it away.
What a
dangerously close to the kitchen, huh?
Fantastic shot by McClellan. He made everyone think
again,
he was
not just an overhead, but like you said, Jordan, a redirected overhead, which is very, very difficult for anybody, even McClellan, who's very, very accomplished with overheads.
And Shane returns with a fantastic shot that takes advantage of Jeremy just being a little too close to the
forcing
center line.
Serve number 2, 2-6-2 in favor of the Picklebacks. Oh, an unfortunate and uncharacteristic error by McCullough. 3-6-2 Picklebacks.
Palachetti has been right on point with his drops today.
A great drop there. Should have 2 at the kitchen. McClellan lagging behind, and unfortunately they didn't make him pay there. But now we're at 4-6-2. Again, you got to recognize when your partner hits a good one and get yourself to the line. Oh, unfortunate bounce off the top of the tape there. That looked to be a fantastic drop again by Palachetti.
Even being off balance as he was almost able to make that one work.
Oh, great return by McClellan, playing the old off the top of the tape, dribble over the net. McCullough and Wilson were not ready for that at all. Here we go. Cross court, cross court, cross court. Who's going to take it down the line? Oh, McCullough had the opportunity. He speeds it up down the middle. Oh, and Palachetti with the overhead.
Great point.
All right, service number 2. No, side out now to Big Al's. McClellan over to Wilson. Wilson, replay it. Let's check in on court 2 and line 2 action, where we see a deadlock at 10-10. We might need to stay here for a little bit. And I tell you, Cooper Abraham is really holding his own against these more experienced players. Katesco gets one at the feet of Andrews. Andrews unable to handle it. Forces serve number 2 now. 10-10-2 is the call. Oh, Andrews with a drive that Cooper Abraham could not handle. 11-10-2 in favor of the Picklebacks.
Boy, Caruso is serving so well with that engaged power that he's got. I think that was the perfect fit for him.
Compliments of wife Megan. Oh, and just as we sing the praises of the youngster, a couple of bad plays. Shake him off and get to the next point, young lad. There we go, a short return. Oh, Abraham over to go down the middle. Caruso with the save. Saved one, could not save the next. Gatesco put it away, side out for Big Al's. Gatesco over to Andrews. Andrews taking it over to Abraham. Abraham on the defensive, able to get one back, not the second. Point, Picklebacks.
Hey, once you put him up in the air for Andrews, he puts them away, doesn't he?
He's got a lot of experience at that, I will tell you that. The big lumbering lefty forces the second serve over here from Big Al's. Again, you don't want to give Andrews shoulder high or head high. He's gonna make you pay for that. Andrews sporting the hook hat again this evening. Oh! That one was out. I think that one sailed deep. Second serve now from Caruso over to Abraham. A very uncharacteristic miss of the overhead. Oh, and a deep serve by Caruso. So we're locked in here at 10-12-1. Let's check over to line one action and see what's going on there, Jordan. What do we have?
10-4 in favor of the Picklebacks.
Looks like the Picklebacks have widened the gap here. McCullough over to Palacetti. Palacetti gets to the line quickly, and here we go. Cross court. Oh, McCullough. McCullough with a dink right at the feet of Palacetti as he was on his way in.
Just a
Palacetti
beautiful
getting some
shot.
blood flowing to the extremities.
He was able to move Palacetti, get him off balance and not prepared for that dink.
Oh, Palacetti might have been able to take that one out of the air, decides to take the step back. Palacetti might need a timeout here. Let's see. Nope, they're going to play on. 12-4 in favor of the Picklebacks. Wilson undoubtedly with the drive. Up, ball on. Replay the point. Again, a player safety issue there, Jordan. Sometimes you don't like to see the point stop, but it's, again, in the best interest of everybody on the court.
Oh, you're so right, JT. You know, it's so frustrating.
Oh, McCullough.
What a finish.
So good at that. So good at knowing when that pop-up's coming. Partner hit a great shot. Again, set up by Wilson. McCullough took advantage. Big Owls need something big to happen here. They are in a massive deficit. And there it is. Big Owl.
Well, we've got a side out, and this is really Big Owl's Ace's opportunity and really final opportunity to take control.
They really need to put some points on the board. Oh, no. Not now, McClellan. Unfortunate error there by McClellan. They're on to serve number 2. And Wilson hits a fantastic return, a fantastic block. Oh, McClellan says thank you very much. They finally get on the board here, close it to within 8. We are at 5-13-2. Palacetti over to McCullough. McCullough middle of the box. Palacetti tries to drive. Another, just trying to stay alive in the point.
Oh.
Wilson drops one. What a play by Wilson.
What a great drop.
Yeah, it's so hard to be running forward like that and put some touch on the ball. McClellan unable to do it there, Jordan. Go ahead.
Well, for some reason, when we're running in towards the ball, our natural instinct is to hit it hard. And I don't know why that is, but I can tell you that as we've seen evidence tonight, it's always the wrong move.
Yeah, you got all those fast switch fibers going on the approach. It's hard to kick those slow twitch fibers in for a dink. And here we are, 13-5, second serve. Oh, another beautiful drive by Wilson. Taking advantage of that third shot drive.
Right to mid-court.
14-5-2, game point. And actually match point here for the Picklebacks. They could take a crucial 4 points. Oh, Wilson into the net. We have side out for Big Owls. I think we've just witnessed the close of 9-2 play, 15-11 Picklebacks. So they secured the 3 points at line 2, which means, Jordan, tell us what that means here for this match.
That all the Picklebacks have to do right now is they have command of the service to get this last point, and we have a game over for the Picklebacks.
Is that it? That's it. The Picklebacks have secured their spot in the championship Thursday night to be streamed live at Generations 7 p.m.
JT, that concludes play. Can you believe it? With not a single dream breaker tonight.
not a single dream breaker, but I got to tell you, Jordan, coming into the night, I would have been surprised if we had any other outcome. The Picklebacks and the Kitchen Crew have been the best two teams all year long, in and out, game after game. I can't wait for Thursday night. What a matchup that's going to be to get your two best teams in the championship. What a fantastic matchup we're going to have. Hopefully we can get one of our captains over here to talk to us a little bit about tonight's action. We can see all the players shaking hands now, congratulating each other on a fine season. One season ended tonight and two seasons.
All right,
Let's
looks
go
like we've
ahead
got
and
Shane
I
Wilson
think
coming over. We're going to hand the mic over
Shane
to
Wilson
him
is
for an interview with
approaching.
Brett.
We have Captain Shane Wilson of the Picklebacks over here. And Shane, as you see your captain's bio up on the screen, I want to congratulate you first on a fantastic season and a fantastic semifinals. What great action. We couldn't ask for anything better. What a great matchup. Tell us a little bit about what you guys had coming into the night. Was there any specific strategy you plan to employ against a very, very strong duo all year long, Alex Palacetti and Jeremy McClellan?
Well, I'll tell you what, JT, to be honest, we were going to hit everything at Alex, was the plan. Keep it away from Jeremy. We know how good Jeremy is. And then halfway through the first game, Alex was playing so well, kind of went out the window, and it was just kind of Tyler's traditional strategy of hit it at the shoelaces and be patient. And so that's really how we ended up.
Tyler's one of the best in the league at finding those shoelaces. And for those of you watching at home and are just picking up the game, the shoelaces are the place to be. Tell us a little bit about that third shot drive of yours. It was really keeping them off balance all night, and Tyler was really taking advantage of putting those away, and you guys were really, the chemistry on court was unparalleled.
Yes, I think we were fortunate. My drive was working early, and because my drive was working early and I was playing well at the net, normally I'm the one targeted because Tyler's such a good player, but I think because my drives were landing, they started targeting Tyler, which is we'll take any day of the week because he's such a good player. And so from there, it was just keep driving as long as it's working and then let Tyler take over at the net for the soft game.
Shane, congratulations again on a great, well-earned victory, and good luck Thursday night in the championship. We just have another player into the Players Lounge here today, the Argentinian sensation, Diego Gatesco. Welcome to the Players Lounge, Diego. Congratulations on a fine season, and I can't compliment you enough on your play out there today. You guys were up against it. The Picklebacks have been one of the strongest teams all year, and their line two is just as good as anybody else's line one. Tell me a little bit about strategy coming into tonight with you and the youngster facing the formidable duo of Andrews and Caruso.
Bueno, primero, muchas gracias, JT, por tenerme acá presente. Creo que fue un partido muy
Sí,
bueno.
señor, sí, señor.
Fue difícil, los dos partidos fueron difíciles, pero se intentó jugar. Pero
could we get
nos
some
enfrentamos a un
subtitles?
equipo,
Can we get some subtitles out there?
Nos enfrentamos a un equipo muy difícil. Muchas gracias.
En inglés, por favor.
No hablo inglés.
Well, there you have it. There you have it, fans.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is JT Thomas under the canvas here at Total Athlete, signing off after two fantastic matches. And thank you so much for our production by Joel Palacetti. We couldn't have done this without him. And thank you so much for my counterpart, Jordan Laird. Thank you, Jordan.
JT, it's been an absolute pleasure. Hats off to Joel. Fantastic job.
And we will see you all again Thursday night to find out who will be the inaugural champions of the Fall Brawl Ohio Valley Pickleball League. Thank you again. Over and out. Peace.